The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Glenn Fraser, and welcome to the pregame show here on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. Tonight, the Central Crew brings you a Class 3A District 1 matchup between the defending state champion Middletown Cavaliers and the home team, the Appo Jags. The Cavaliers have a very long and proud tradition, while the Jags won their first playoff game in program history last year in the new Class 3A, and they hope to make the top 8 to qualify again this year. Middletown head coach Zach Blum in his 6th season with an overall record of 41-15. Now remember, 7 of those losses came via forfeit last year, so he really would be 48-8, but you have to figure those in there. Let me bring in my broadcast partner for tonight's game, Pat Gariantes. He's one of the best in the business. Pat, the Cavaliers are ranked number 1, and it was a very impressive win last week that we got to see with them in Smyrna.
Absolutely, Glenn. First of all, appreciate the compliment, my friend.
I threw him off guard, folks.
Yeah, love that. Always love it. No, it was. It was a classic battle. We were expecting that with the Harvest Bowl. Both defenses came after it, but you're right. It all came down to a 4th and 13 play with about 26 seconds left. Austin Troyer felt the pass rush, rolled to his right, throws back towards the middle of the field, which is typically a cardinal sin, but not on this night. The Smyrna defender fell down. He found Noah Crisilla wide open, camped into the Cavalier end zone for what would eventually be the game-winning touchdown. It was exciting. It was highly contested. Like I said, both defenses really got after it. Really high-quality football game. And Middletown holds on to their number 1 ranking with a big-time win over the Smyrna Eagles.
That game was a tale of two halves because Middletown pretty much dominated play in the first half, and then Smyrna came out, made some adjustments after the locker room talk, and they dominated really the second half until that last drive. Other than that, Middletown was 3 and out the entire second half.
Yeah, the pass rush for Smyrna really started to get after Austin Troyer and force him into some throws maybe before he wanted to throw them. And they really stopped the running game pretty much all night there. But, yeah, they did. And then they kind of opened it up offensively. They were primarily running out of that earthquake in the first half. A little bit predictable, perhaps.
Yeah.
Second half, they opened it up much more unpredictable and were able to move the ball against Middletown.
Well, we talked about Austin Troyer. He completed 17 out of 27 passes for almost 200 yards last week and 2 touchdowns in that 21-14 win over Smyrna. There's a little bit about the Middletown Cavaliers. Hey, they got a running game too, folks. Don't let them fool you. They've got Roberson and Pearson back there, and they've got some good blocking backs they can bring in, and Walker and Glover. And they have stud wide receivers across the board. Crisilla, Priestley, Henson, Garrett, Davis, and a kid we didn't even know was going to be in the lineup caught the first touchdown pass in Vernal Gary.
Yep.
So Middletown's loaded in that passing game. They can run the ball. It's going to be a tough test for the Appo defense tonight. Speaking of Appo, we'll talk about their offense coming up next here on the pregame show on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott.
Welcome back to the pregame show. The Jaguars are coached by Brian Timpson. He took over the program in 2014, has an overall record of 36-46. and they've never beaten the Cavaliers on the field. They got a win last year because of all the forfeits. The closest they've come to a win on the field, Pat, occurred in 2019, a 14-13 win by Middletown. They have their hands full tonight, though. We already talked about the defense trying to stop the multifaceted attack of Middletown. Offensively, we've already been told by Coach Timpson we're going to see a lot of Daniel McConomy here tonight.
Yeah, the junior running back does a little bit of everything for Appo, Glenn. Last year, he was out for the really beginning part of that season. He really kind of kick-started their success in the second half of the season when he came back. Junior running back. This season, he's getting it done early in the season. 379 yards through 2 games, 6 touchdowns, Glenn. 217 last week against CR, but, I mean, you do a little bit of the math there. That's
right.
Still 150-plus yards against the St. Mark's defense that is extremely talented, and we got to see them in Week 1. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. McConomy is a game changer for sure. See if he can make some things happen. And, you know, the key there, Glenn, I mean, it's not just about him. It's got to get done up front as well. And, you know, you highlighted this offensive line, 4 returning starters, R.J. Duge, Nico Gibson, Ian Beatty, and the big fella, Elijah Husser. Keep an eye on him, number 70, the left tackle, 6'6", 300-plus, and he can get after it.
He's all-district last year on both offense and defensive line. We'll see him on both lines again here tonight. Middletown has a pretty darn good defense. They throttled when Smyrna tried any kind of passing game last week. So really they just pinned the ears back and tried to stuff the run as Smyrna ran a lot of that earthquake and Wildcat. For the most part, did a pretty good job. Smyrna broke off a couple of long runs, and it was Yancey broke off the big one for the touchdown. It's ironic. He gets 1 carry the whole game.
Yeah.
And it goes 47 yards for a score. So,
yeah, I mean,
good linebackers.
I was going to say, I mean, your linebacker play there, Beckford, Hackett, Wheeler, those guys are making plays. Up front, you got a young guy, junior, Tristan Graham. He's getting some big-time looks, 6'3", 245, great size, some big-time D1 interest. And then in the secondary, Ronell Davis is getting some big-time interest as well, including some pretty significant offers, West Virginia, Temple, Duke, among others. Ty Hinson, two-sport athlete here, gets it done in the secondary, and Mikey Pearson playing both sides of the ball can get it done, too, for the Navy commit.
And we saw Pearson in on a lot of tackles last week in that win over Smyrna. All right, that's a look at these two teams in the same school district in Class 3A and District 1 here in the state of Delaware's newly classified systems, 1A, 2A, 3A, 3A being the large schools in the state. All right, when we come back, we'll have the national anthem, and we'll return with the kickoff, the starting lineups. It's Middletown and Appo on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes. Whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Delaware Live. The captains are out in the center of the field for the Appoquinimink Jaguars. It is Elijah Husser, Daniel McConomy, and number 3, Gavin Tucker. And then the Middletown Cavaliers, it looks like Michael Pearson. I see a number 77 out there, and I saw him as being a captain last week in the Smyrna game, but he's not listed on the roster.
I believe that's Anwar O'Neill, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, and we also have number 18. That is the kid that Crisilla that caught the touchdown pass late in the game. And then also number 4, that's Drew Beckford, the fine linebacker from Middletown. Those are the captains out there on the field. So soon we'll have the national anthem from, I believe, the Appo Jaguar band, and then we'll have the kickoff. We have 2 more really good matchups for you tonight on our network of live streams on Delaware Live. Benny Mitchell with a really good 3A District 2 matchup down at the beach as Cape Henlopen has turned things around this year. An improved Cape against a Dover team that had to replace a lot, but I tell you what, Chip Knapp has them on. He's got them moving again and a great forward progress.
Yeah, you're starting to see him, kind of dig his heels into that program and really kind of build it, and they are. I mean, John Parker, Jaquan Kilby, among others, they're a dangerous team. And we're going to find out how real Cape is tonight in that game for sure, Glenn.
I think it's going to be a true test for both of them. Nasheen Cosme, too, the fine quarterback. And then the other game tonight, kickoffing at 7:30 upstate at Abyssinia, will be St. E's, your team, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Hosting Tatnall Hornets. All right, we're going to step aside for the national anthem. We'll be back for the start of this game tonight right after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
I'm Chef Hari Cameron. At Grandpa Mac, pasta's our thing. We serve quality food fast that's not fast food. We make everything in-house and serve something for everyone. We're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Follow the noodle to Grandpa Mac.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822. Melissa Ellis is part of 4 Acre Realty Company. She is licensed in both Delaware and Pennsylvania. Melissa knows that being personable and patient.
Well, we're back and ready for the start of tonight's game of the week here, Central Crew. Middletown Cavaliers offensively. Michael Pearson, Josh Roberson will be the running backs. Starting quarterback Austin Troyer at 147 yards passing in the loss to St. John's and almost 200 yards passing in the win last week against Smyrna. We're going to see a lot of rotating wide receivers in and out of the lineup, mostly Noah Crisilla, Matt Priestley, Ty Henson, and Ronell Davis. We'll see Vernal Gary and William Garrett. Now, the offensive line is a question mark. Last week, starting center Stephen Ogden actually played 3 positions on the offensive line. So we're going to say that the offensive line will consist of Glenn Bruckner, Eli Curran, Steve Ogden, Bradley Sutton, and Colin Campbell. The tight end or the Y position is Casey Hackett.
Yeah, that was an impressive feat there by Ogden last week. I mean, first of all, to know all 3 positions as an offensive lineman is extremely impressive, and it's a sacrifice, right? A lot of guys, they like to fit into their position. They don't like a lot of change. He's accepting all challenges, and that's a leader right there, Glenn.
Starting defense, and this is what we'll see on the field first because Appo will receive the opening kickoff. Front 4, Elijah Husser, Demir Milam, Ali Kamara, Robert Shaw, that's the front four. Linebackers are Shane Von Brandt and Osborne. He's the younger brother of Kurt Von Brandt at VMI and the starting quarterback for 4 years here at Appo High. We'll get the rest of the defense for Appo after this. Here's the kickoff, high and deep. Will sail down inside the 10-yard line. On the return, it's Crisilla. Breaks one tackle, turns the corner to 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Far sideline, jukes the defender. He is into Jaguar territory and all the way down to the 30-yard line. What a way to start the game for Middletown.
What a start is right. Crisilla did a great job, made one man miss early on, and he took that nearly to the house. But what a great hustle play right there, Glenn. To chase him down and prevent a touchdown, at least force this Middletown offense onto the field.
Great field position at the 30-yard line for Appoquinimink. Austin Troyer, the quarterback, in the gun. Behind him is Pearson. And at secondary, we want to get the starters for you from Appo. It's Jaden Glover, Ethan Osebu, Dylan Griffin, and Gavin Tucker.
There's a Mari Cofield on that tackle, Glenn, number 31. Great effort.
Give to Michael Pearson straight up the middle. He goes forward for about 3 yards to the 27.
I like this, right? Let's see if we get Mikey Pearson going. He's a 4-year starter here at Middletown. He's a commit to the Naval Academy. He runs hard, he runs smart, and he takes care of the football. I like this idea here, trying to establish the run game early and then work in this passing game with Troyer, which is so impressive.
Trips to the bottom of your screen for Middletown. Looking in the far flat and just threw it behind the intended receiver, Crisilla, and incomplete.
Yeah, Troyer just missed a little bit behind his receiver, Crisilla there. I'll say this, though. He really couldn't lead him. That was good coverage there by the Appoquinimink defense. He had to put that ball on the back shoulder, just did it a little too much on that slant pattern. Incomplete.
All right, once again, Middletown with trips to the bottom of your screen, a lone receiver, Crisilla to the top, and now they put Pearson in the slot. 3rd down and 7. Back to pass. Pressure's coming on a blitz. He unloads it, and it's low and incomplete. And a lot of pressure put on Troyer that time.
Great job there. That's Ali Kamara coming off the end, unblocked. And he came just like a missile right at Troyer. And Troyer did all he could to get rid of the football. But there was just nothing he could do about it. Fell incomplete. Good start here. 4th down.
Yeah.
Forced here by Appo. See if they can get off the field.
4th down and 7 after a great field position thanks to Crisilla's return on the kickoff. Troyer calling signals, steps back, pressure coming again. He unloads, almost intercepted. That was almost a pick, but it's incomplete, and Appo's defense holds after special teams given great field position.
Dylan Griffith, that's the man, number 19, who came in there and almost intercepted that, and he did that quite a bit last year. Coach Timpson told us that's what he does. He's a playmaking ball hawk in the secondary. He almost came away with one there. But how about that? A 4 and out for that Appo defense after an impressive return. That's how you settle momentum right there, Glenn. That's how you establish it and try and build off of it.
One thing we saw Smyrna do last week, they had a lot of success blitzing the quarterback and getting pressure on him a lot of times with 3 down linemen. I'm sure Appo looked at the film. Maybe they saw some things that would help them, and they got pressure on that set. All right, Appoquinimink's offense. Quarterback, sophomore Jacob Yard. McConomy in the backfield with him and Glover. Takes the snap, gives it to McConomy. Started inside, cuts it to the outside. Good gain on the edge, and he has a 1st down up across the 45 and bounced out near the 47-yard line. Good blocking by left tackle Elijah Husser.
Exactly right. That Appo left side of the offensive line completely sealed the edge, and with McConomy's speed, he only needs a little bit of room. Broke that one off, gets into the secondary, and if Mikey Pearson doesn't chase him down there, he could still be running. That's a big time. This is a heck of a start here by this Appo Jaguar team.
It sure is. That run was good for 20 yards, and that puts him over 400, barely into 3 games in the season. McConomy again, waits for blocking to develop, bounces outside, crosses across midfield, and he has about 7 or 8 yards into Cavalier territory.
McConomy, he's so slippery, so speedy, so agile. As we said last year, he really was the pin that started the
playoff run,
in the playoff run in the second half of the season. and he is a difference maker. Middletown right now is on their heels.
Yeah. Yard in the gun, standing in midfield. They feed it to McConomy again. Straight off left tackle, and he has the first down at the Cavalier 41-yard line. Good blocking up front.
I was going to say, Appo is winning this battle up front so far, Glenn. You're exactly right. They're giving McConomy the space he needs to keep the chains moving. And this is a great start for the Jaguars.
Sure is. You got that right. Griffith is split to the bottom of your screen. Slot receiver and a wide out to the top of your screen. Yard looks over the defense, takes a snap, gives it to McConomy again. Hit right at the line, but surges across the 40 to the 39. He'll pick up about 2 yards there.
Great job there coming up. That was Casey Hackett making the play, limiting that to only a 2-yard gain. But again, this offensive line's doing a great job of getting an initial push upfield.
Coach Timpson told me out on the field before we went on the air, he said, we're going to see a lot of McConomy. He said he's going to get the ball about 30 times tonight. Well, how about 4 straight to start the game?
Why not, man? And this young man, only a junior, but he's in great shape, and they're going to lean on him.
McConomy for the 5th straight time. Waits for the blocking to develop, and that was a touchdown saving tackle, I think, there by Middletown's Jaden Wheeler.
Yeah, great job by Wheeler. I tell you, McConomy just was another gear through the hole there. And Wheeler did a great job of coming in, making sure he secured the tackle, because you're right. He would have been one-on-one with Ronell Davis, and there's a lot of open field there. And Davis is a heck of a player, D1 safety, but one-on-one there. McConomy can get after it as well.
Pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards, 3rd down, and a long 4. Osebu in motion. McConomy again, blocking on the left side, and he has the first down inside the 30, down around the Cavalier 26.
What a job here again. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's every play. They're winning the battle up front. McConomy is able to get into that second level of the defense and make some things happen. That time, the saving tackle, I believe, was Drew Beckford, who came from the opposite side of the field.
Wow.
As Davis came up, he was picked up right at the line of scrimmage. It took the backside, or the linebacker. Beckford's now on this side, but he was on the opposite side, backside linebacker, to make the play.
McConomy once again, straight up the middle this time. He gets inside the Middletown 25 to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 2. So they're mixing it up into the different gaps. He's going off left guard, he's going off right guard, but most of the big yardage, Pat, has been off of the left tackle, getting the edge there by Husser. You're
exactly right, Glenn. And, this is a game of adjustments. We're going to have to see how Middletown adjusts to this, if they do at all. Because you're exactly right.
Got a linebacker that jumped up there on a run blitz. McConomy goes off right side, minimal gain. Got a couple of yards. Looked like one of the first ones in there was Kasim Powell.
You're right, Glenn, and that's the first tackle there by a defensive lineman so far on this drive. They've been swallowed up with that 3-man front, and that time he was able to break off the tackle and make a play. That's going to be a key here for Middletown, is can these front 3, who did so great against Smyrna last week, get off their blocks against a pretty decent challenge here in this offensive line for Appo. They're pretty big guys, and make plays.
No gain on that last play, so it's 3rd down and about 7. They feed it to McConomy again. He stiff arms a defender, but that defender held on, and that defender was Matt Priestley. So it's going to bring up 4th down and about 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, good adjustment here by Middletown, right? They haven't seen one pass play. Well, they just sent everybody right there. They are run blitzing right now, Appo. And on 4th down, let's see what they decide to do. Do they go to the run again, or do they look to pass?
There was no gain on that play. Nice tackle one-on-one by Priestley. And that brings up 4th down and 8. Osebu in motion. Yard has it, looks to pass. Throws it in the flat, and it was deflected, incomplete. So now Middletown's defense tightens up, but we do have a flag down at the 25.
Yeah, let's see what this flag's for. It looks like it's against Appo.
Yeah,
you can see them asking Coach Blum what he wants to do. It's a hold.
Yeah. So both teams, Middletown, great field position off the kickoff, 4 and out. Actually gave it up on downs. Middletown moved the ball downfield nicely, almost into the red zone, not quite, and Middletown's defense holds. So both teams giving the ball up on downs.
Well, that's going to be it for Appo. The key's going to be, can they establish the pass enough to keep this defense on their heels? Because if they could do that, you saw what McConomy can do when there's at least the threat of, okay, what are they going to do? Yard's going to have to make some plays. He had great protection there. Seemed like he got a little bit antsy, like I got to make a throw.
Yeah.
Just good coverage.
Happy feet.
Yep.
Roberson in the backfield. They give it to him. He tries to get the outside on the left edge. Penalty flag goes flying. Actually, 2 flags after a 2-yard pickup. And this might be a hold coming back against Middletown.
Yeah, it should be a hold. Roberson there tried to bounce it outside, and the speed of this Appo defense, and they were able to break through that offensive line who was trying to set the edge. They weren't able to do it, and that is always bad news when they're trying to bounce out and you're expecting the run to come up the middle there.
Indeed, it is a hold. So I'm thinking head coach Timpson is going to take that penalty, and he will. He'll back Middletown up just inside it's about the 13-yard line, maybe the 14.
What a start here for Appo.
Yeah, really. I mean, we keep saying it, but, hey, they're a decided underdog in this game. Handoff right up the middle. I think that was Pearson. He only got a couple of yards.
Good work once again. Appo's defensive front making some plays happen there. That was number 58, which was Damir Millam. Came through and made a heck of a play to keep that as a minimal gain and a second down and long.
We're 5:40 to go here in this first quarter. No score. Both teams have had an opportunity. Now second down and a long ways to go for Middletown. They need to get out to about the 34-yard line. Empty backfield. Swing pass. Out to Roberson.
Wow.
Does a nice little stutter step move. Another little move. He's spin move, and he's down at the 20. So after all that, he gained about 5 yards, but he could have been tackled at the line of scrimmage.
He was. Antoine Osborne, number 8, was right there to make the play. Beautifully read. They had that extremely well covered, but the quickness of Roberson. He's left Osborne and Shane in their boots right there.
If we were calling a basketball game, those would be ankle breakers, right?
Seriously, I mean, Roberson, great agility and quickness there. And however, after the penalty, it's now 3rd down and 12. Appo's one play away from getting off the field again.
Trips to the top of your screen. Troyer back to pass. Throws the long ball up the sideline, and it's out of bounds. Nobody could have caught that one. I mean, if they did catch it, it was out of bounds. It wouldn't have counted for anything. The intended receiver was Ty Henson, and 4th down and long. So Appo holds again, Pat.
Great job by Appo there. Yeah, he went to his weapon, Ty Henson. He looked like he was going to go back shoulder. He just threw that a little too far. Not a whole lot of sideline here on this boundary side. And he decided to take the one-on-one opportunity here on this near side instead of taking a look at the field where he had 3 receivers and just couldn't connect.
Cole Jorgensen in the punt. And we do have a lot of wind here tonight at Appo High. I'm here to tell you, I've seen enough softball and baseball games out here. It's always windy at Appo High.
Oh, it is. I mean, we're right here in the plains. I know they built that that little hill over there, as you can see 301 in the background. But, yeah, you're right. Still windy over here.
Cole Jorgensen's punt bounces at midfield. Appo gets away from it wisely. It'll be down just inside the Jags' 40-yard line at the 39, and that is where they will take over for the second time. And so far, it's been 9 runs and 1 pass attempt by Appo. A couple of flags are down on the punt return.
Yeah, penalty, and you see Coach Timpson fired up right now. I think there may have been an unnecessary block or hit. It's going to put Appo back, blocking the back there. Instead of the 39 and fairly decent field position, it's going to be back closer to the 29. It's tough.
15-yarder. Back to the 24.
Well, Glenn, you said it. 9-1 on that 10-play opening drive. Got to try and even that up a little bit more, I feel, in order to pull off the upset.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you're going to lean heavily on your all-state candidate running back, but this Middletown defense is too intelligent to run that kind of run-heavy type offense. So I do think they're going to have to get, Jacob Yard comfortable back there throwing the football.
It is back at the 29. Osebu went in motion. He gets it, and he gets nothing. He is tackled on the far sidelines by Drew Beckford, the senior linebacker.
Beckford was all over that. They saw the motion, and that Middletown defense was running to it, to make sure that speed sweep wasn't done. You said Osebu's name. He's another guy here that has extreme speed and agility and can make some things happen. Middletown was prepared for that one.
You're right, a loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. We're under 4 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. No score in this intra-district rivalry between Appo High and Middletown High. Yard in the gun, takes a snap, turns, gives it to McConomy. Hit right at the line by 2 defenders, and he's dropped at the 25.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. This is where you're starting to see Middletown be like, okay, it's now 11 run plays to 1 pass play. We're going to pin our ears back and get after you. And that's now 2 consecutive plays where tackles for loss. They're very clearly not expecting the pass right now.
Loss of 3 that time. So it's 3rd down and 14 for the Appo Jags.
Now they're going to probably right here maybe be at least a half a step slower just in case there's a play action pass. But
right.
Again, I mean, let's see what Appo goes with here.
Trips at the bottom of your screen. Yard has McConomy behind him. McConomy gets the ball. He gets right up the middle of the field. He's tripped up, and I'm looking at the spot. He might have the first down, Pat.
He might, Glenn. He might. And right there, again, I told you this defense, at least on 3rd down, they're going to have maybe a little bit on their heels just in case. And they hit him hard right up the middle with McConomy. And he did. What about that? Picking up a 3rd and 14. What an impressive run there by 24.
Got a good block on the interior line. That was center Miko Gibson, Aaron Hall, and Ian Beatty. And they gave him a little gap, and he took advantage of it. Got just enough for the first down to move the chains. It's McConomy again. Stutter step move. Patient waits for the blocking to develop. He gets about 6 yards up to the 45.
And once again, Appo, after the 1st and 2nd down on their initial set of downs, not really getting the job done up front. These last 2 plays, they've gotten good push up front. And again, McConomy is able to get into the 2nd level of that defense. Picks up 6 on 1st down. Now you're back in rhythm. 2nd down and 4. A lot of plays you can call here.
Pat, we had a great crowd last week for the Harvest Bowl in Middletown. Sellout here tonight. Over 2,300 fans. Great atmosphere, high school ball. McConomy, after a low snap, the timing was off, and Middletown got in there and made the stop. Looked like Hackett was in there. Also, Powell.
Yeah, I mean, and you're seeing again at that time Middletown brought pressure. They blitzed the linebackers through. There just really wasn't a whole lot that Appo could do on that one. Now you got 3rd down and 5.
Right. And we're a minute and a half to go here in this scoreless opening quarter.
See, I'm looking play action pass here if I'm Coach Timpson and company.
Trips to the bottom of your screen again. A lone receiver to the top. Yard drops back. He throws middle of the field and gets his man complete up at midfield. It looks like that is complete to number 19, Dylan Griffin.
Great throw. Great job by Yard. He stuck in the pocket there. There was pressure coming on him. He didn't get nervous. He sat in there. He delivered that ball on time and in a perfect window because Davis was flying through there to try and make a play on the ball. Big time play. They're going to have to do that, Glenn. I know I've said it a few times already, but I really do think it's going to be a key for them. They're going to have to pass the ball successfully at least a little bit here to keep this defense honest.
And let's give Yard, the young kid, the sophomore, some credit. He fit that in a tight window. There was double coverage. And there's a late handoff. Throws off the timing, but McConomy still gets good yardage into Middletown territory down close to the 40. Let's see where they mark him out. And that might be another first down.
It's a great job there by McConomy. Again, you're right. It was almost like, it delayed just enough. It was almost like a draw play.
Yeah.
The whole front end of that front 8 of that Middletown defense was in the backfield when that handoff was made, and he was able to get right by him and was into the secondary.
Should be enough for another first down. The official's taking a look at it.
Looks like they're going to get him just short, Glenn. And look at this.
Okay.
See where the marker's at. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
2nd down and 1 with 40 seconds to go in this opening quarter. From the Middletown 40-yard line. Yard turns, gives it to McConomy again. Stood up right at the line. It'll depend on the spot, but I think he's just shy of the first.
See forward progress. He may have got half of it. He may have got a half a yard. So you're right, Glenn. It's going to end up being 3rd down and a yard or so.
And Appo does not have to take another snap. The clock can run out here on the quarter, and I think that's what the delay is. Coaches on the sideline are saying, no, just hold up. So let me tell you what. If you expected to tune in and watch this game tonight on our free live stream, you probably thought Middletown would be up 14-0 already. No. End of one quarter here at Appo High. It's 0-0 on our game of the week. We'll be back for the second quarter after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from...
Glenn Fraser alongside Pat Garriantes. Nick Halliday on the camera here tonight. Scoreless after one. And, Pat, I'm impressed both sides of the ball so far with the Appo Jags.
It's a win for them, right? They came into this heavy underdogs. You know, as an Eagles fan, I always appreciate this, right? You wear the underdog with pride, right? You wear that with pride. They came out here, they battled through one quarter, and they've been taking it too. In fact, I'd say they've actually played a better first quarter than Middletown did. They just got to get some points on. They get some points on the board here, then you can really start to feel it a little bit right here in Jaguar Stadium.
All right, we're going to start the second quarter with third and less than a yard just outside the Cavalier 40 for Appo. Osebu in motion. They turn to give it to McConomy. Pearson trails him. He came off the edge, and he made the tackle for a loss back at the 44.
Yeah, he did. He came off. He saw the motion. You can see what Middletown's plan is. Motion goes away from you. You're coming off the edge with Pearson. Motion comes to you. You're flying up the field. That seems to be what they're doing. And he was able to chase down McConomy for a loss, and now Appo's going to have to punt.
Yeah, that's Mason Reinhardt, the senior, and the punt.
It's a tough one, Glenn. It's a tough one. Like I said, I mean, you're going to. I think you're going to have to throw the football here against Middletown to keep them honest. And this is one of those when you run the shotgun offense, you don't have the opportunity to sneak it. Sneak would have been good there.
Reinhardt gets off the punt. It's going to be returned from the 14-yard line. That's Pearson right up the middle. Pearson breaks it, and Pearson's going to go the distance. If there are no flags, that's going to be an 86-yard return.
Wow, difference makers. Clipboard went flying from up top here, Glenn. Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Pearson just hit it right up the gut, went straight, and game-breaking speed right there by the Navy commit.
I think he gathered that in right around the 15 or the 14. We're going to call it an 85-yarder.
Unbelievable. And that was needed right there for
turned the
Middletown.
momentum around in this game, that's for sure.
Yes, it did.
And to kick the extra point for the Cavaliers is sophomore Austin Ham.
That's tough for Appo too, man. You've been battling this whole time. You had a 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, and you weren't able to pick up the first down, and then you get hit with that.
High snap, kick is up, kick has the distance, and right through the uprights by Ham. Timeout score, 10:59 to go in the first half. It's Middletown 7, Appo nothing. Back after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
I'm Chef Harry Cameron. At Grandpa Mac, pasta's our thing. We serve quality food fast that's not fast food. We make everything in-house and serve something for everyone. We're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Follow the noodle to Grandpa Mac.
So far the two big plays here for Middletown have been the opening kickoff return by Crosilla, who took it from his own 8 all the way down to the 29 of the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers went 4 straight plays and gave it up on downs, and then that punt return for the touchdown. So the difference in the game so far is special team play.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Glenn. There's three facets of the game. A lot of times people forget about that special team side, but you see here Middletown making it happen on the special team side, and they got a 7-0 lead despite really being outplayed for the most part on offense and defense by Appo.
Ham's kickoff. And high goes to the 32-yard line, taken, I believe, by Reinhardt. He got up to the 35, and then he was gang tackled. Indeed, it was Mason Reinhardt, the senior, on the return. So Appo will start from its own 35. We have a score for you from another live stream game tonight on the 302 Sports crew, and that's Benny Mitchell and the Southern crew. 7-0 in favor of Dover over Cape Henlopen early in that one. And the other game upstate doesn't kick off until 7:30, Tatnall at St. Elizabeth, so they'll be kicking off in just a few minutes.
I do have some other scores for you, Glenn.
Okay.
Early first quarter is 14-0 Caravel over Red Lion Christian Academy. And with just time winding down in the first quarter, Wilmington Friends up 7-0 over Tower Hill.
Okay, that's a long-time traditional rivalry there. That dates all the way back to 1924.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The Hillers and the Quakers. All right, Appo right back on offense now from their own 35. Yard looks over the offense. And he drew Middletown off sides with that, the hard cadence.
Yeah, great work.
I believe he did. We'll see.
Yep. Yeah, they got them up front. Great job there by Appo. That's a good way to try and shift the momentum back your way after the game breaker. You got a good return, and now you get an extra 5-yard start at your own 40.
Backfield remains the same. Yard takes a low snap, hands off to McConomy. Oh, that was almost a face mask.
Yeah, they're gonna call
and there's the flag. He got about 3 yards before he was stood up, but I think we're going to have a penalty against the Cavaliers here.
Definitely got a piece of the face mask there, Glenn. You saw the head kind of cock back.
As we both do it simultaneously in the press box.
That is true. It is true. The question is it's a personal foul.
Wow,
so
okay.
there's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end of the run there, Glenn.
Yep. So we had a 4-yard run by McConomy, and then the penalty tacked on.
Big opportunity here for Appo, right? I mean, a lot of in the past, that punt return might have sucked the air out of this stadium, might have sucked the air out of this team, but here you go. Immediately after giving up the touchdown, you're now driving. Go ahead and try and finish this thing off. Got to make some plays here, try and draw even.
This is just about the point on the field where the last drive stalled for the Jags, just outside the Middletown 40-yard line. Yard turns, gives it to McConomy. He goes right through the line, and he is tackled by Beckford again, but not before he got almost 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, I mean, again, this Appo offensive line so far in this game has been able to get good push up front against the smaller, quicker defensive linemen for Middletown. Let's see if this continues as this game goes on. This is a long game now, but they're able to allow the running back economy to get into the second level, and he's done a good job of getting good 4 or 5 yards a run on most of these plays.
Second down and 5. Again, they come up to run blitz. McConomy waits for the blocking. He's caught from behind, but puts that head down. And he's not a really big kid, but he managed to get about 2 or 3 more yards.
Yeah, great work again. I mean, Middletown, you said it, Glenn. You saw it. The linebackers are coming and run blitz, and they're anticipating the snap count, and they're trying to get in these gaps. But Appo's been up to the challenge for the most part in this game. Now, obviously, there's been a few drives stalled because well-timed blitzes by Middletown, but they've done a pretty good job, all things considered. This is a big play. Another situation, 3rd and 1. Can they get these short yardage first downs?
This time, Yard turns, gives it to McConomy. Right side, looks like he got the first down yardage to the Middletown 30-yard line and maybe the 29. So he got about 4 there, and that was his 20th carry of the game.
Yeah, Glenn, you told us 30, right?
Yeah, we might have to double that.
We're not even 3 minutes into the second quarter, and he's already at 20.
Yeah, let's double down on that.
The over.
Yeah.
If you took the over at home, you're loving this game set right here. All things aside, do think Appo needs to establish the pass a little bit. I know I've said it a few times.
Well, now they're in the red zone. McConomy again bounces to the left edge, cuts inside of a block. They grab his shirt, and he still manages to get inside the 25, down near the 23.
He's putting pressure on this Middletown defense, forcing them to be fundamentally sound. Middletown's getting bodies to him, but not wrapping the legs. He keeps that leg drive going, and you're right, he's not a big guy, but he's a strong back, and he's able to power through for 7.
Trying to add up his yardage. I think he's approaching 80 or 90 yards already.
It's been impressive, and I mean, to have the stamina to be already at 21 carries, not even halfway through the second quarter, he doesn't look tired.
No. Second down and 3. Low snap again. Yard gets it. McConomy waits for the blocking development. There was too many white jerseys there that time. No gain on the play.
Beckford did a great job coming up, initiating contact at the line of scrimmage, scraping off the block and wrapping him up for a tackle, and another third down setup. Middletown right now just trying to hold on, though. You can see them out there, hands on the hips.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
They've been on the field the whole half.
Yeah, we got to try and get off the field here, boys.
All right.
Because it was a special teams touchdown.
Yeah.
Glenn. I mean, that's a good point.
Third down and 3. Yard gives it to McConomy, being chased from behind. He's going to get a couple of yards. I think he's going to be a yard shy of the first.
I thought we were going to get an RPO hold and keep it and throw, but they decided to hand it off. Looks like there's going to be a timeout. Coach Timpson company, I think, want to talk this one over.
I think that's a wise timeout.
But it's another great opportunity here to run play action, Glenn. I don't know Appo's offensive playbook, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't know it. But one thing
I got to point one thing out there. I don't want to interrupt you, but look at the huddle out on the field, and number 16 for Appo is wearing a fluorescent green hat. That is Gregory Nielsen, a freshman out there, adding a little color to our broadcast.
A signal caller. I wonder if that's got something to do with this offense somehow, some way. But that is some great attire you're seeing there by number 16. The freshman getting after it early and often, young man. He's setting the tone for the rest of his career right there. Setting the tone, Glenn. But as I was saying here, last time we saw this 4th and short situation, you saw the long handoff.
Right.
You saw the scraping down by Mikey Pearson to make the play in the backfield. Like to see, if they have it, the play fake off of that.
Yeah.
Let him ride down, take the running back out. Now you got a clean pocket. Again, I know that there's a lot of people in this state that like run. As you can see, Elijah Husser lined up his lead blocker here.
I was going to say, I didn't see him on the offensive line. He's a lead blocker now. They run behind Husser, and he blew him off the line of scrimmage. That's a first down.
Wow, the big fella just came through there as a road grader. And that's tough. I mean, that's a linebacker. You got to be sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. Big guy, 6'6", 300 plus.
Yeah. You picked him out. I'm surveying the offensive line. I said, where's Husser? Because that's where they're going to run. Oh, there he is in the backfield. Oh, he just went through there like a tractor.
He's in there. Hey, it worked. They're lined up here again. Same thing.
First down at the 19 of the Cavaliers. Deepest penetration of the game for the Jags offense. They run behind Husser again. Stiff arm and a good ankle tackle made. A flag goes flying. The tackle was made by middle linebacker Casey Hackett.
Now, I'm curious to see what they're going to call here. Husser came to take out Pearson. Pearson did a smart thing, right? I'm taking your legs out.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I mean, that looked like where the official was looking at. So I don't know if it's something on that play or what. Let's see what they call here.
Yeah,
Pearson
Cavalier
looks to be shaken
down.
up. I think it's Pearson.
Yeah. Well,
that's a big leg that came at you.
he got up, and he's
Hope everything's okay with him.
he looks to be okay walking off the field.
Could also be a shoulder, right? You jam your shoulder up.
That you don't want to see. I mean, he is a key two-way player for the Cavs.
Looks like they call that on Middletown.
They did.
And
yeah, there you go.
He went for the legs there. So
on the big guy, and unfortunately, he's the one that got hurt.
I mean, again, that's a big man right there. You just ran into. But after all that, Glenn, you got a 1st and goal inside of 10 here. What an opportunity for the Jags. Potential answer here, coming off the letdown on special teams.
All right, just inside the Middletown 9-yard line. Husser stays in the backfield as a blocking back. McConomy follows him. He gets down close to the 6-yard line.
I love this. Coach Timpson called a timeout. Like, hey, what do we go? Let's throw something new at them. They put Husser in here as the H-back, and it's been successful. This is tremendous here from Appo. Leave no stone unturned in the crosstown rivalry. I'm excited, Glenn. Got a good football game here.
All right, Jaguars talking things over in the huddle. 2nd down and goal from the Cavaliers' 6-yard line. 5:40 to go in this opening half. It's Middletown 7, Appo nothing.
Taking a little time here to get
Yeah.
to the line of scrimmage. There's the 5, 4, 3, 2. They get it off.
Just got it off.
But they weren't set.
No, they weren't. And 2 Middletown defenders jumped that snap count, got on Husser real quick. He really didn't know which one to block, and that just busted that play.
Tristan Graham, number 42, made the play. You're exactly right. I mean, you saw quarterback keeping an eye on that play clock, knew that it was winding down, called for the ball maybe perhaps before his offense was ready.
Appo's going to call a timeout here because they've got a 3rd down and goal coming up. They want to talk over probably the next play at least, and maybe the next 2 plays if they don't score here. They have a pretty good kicker, so they also have the option of getting on the board and getting some points, and I think that's imperative. If you don't get something here and it's 4th and goal from outside the 5, you might just want to try to go for 3 and get on the board back.
Hey, get on the board, put pressure on Middletown, have them move the football, right? I mean, you're exactly right, Glenn. And, you know, I don't mean to annoy the audience here, but I'm thinking play action pass here. I really am. I'm thinking at some point here,
well, he did it once.
do it. Yeah, I think a play action pass. Tell your young quarterback, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't see anybody open, throw it out of the back of the end zone. Throw it out of the back of the end zone, and we'll make a decision here on 4th down. But I think you can really get this Middletown defense sucked in if you run a nice play-action pass here and block it well. I think you have an opportunity to find somebody.
Got another score for you. Smyrna leads Caesar Rodney 22-0. And here's a good update for everybody out there. Head coach Mike Judy is back on the sidelines tonight. That is great to see. We're so happy for him that he got that little medical issue worked out. So Smyrna with the lead. Wagner's where he wants to be, back on top of the press box, being the DC, calling the plays up there. Smyrna 22-0 in that one.
You got a little wildcat offense here. McConomy, direct snap.
Yep, broke 1 tackle but not another. He goes down. I don't think he gained anything. Great stop. It looked like Ronell Davis was in there.
Hey, Davis came up. And, again, I mean, you're sitting there, you know, they dominated Smyrna in that kind of situation last week.
Yes.
Where there was no quarterback, no threat of the pass on the field.
All right, it's 4th and goal from the 9.
But you know what, Glenn? You're exactly right. That is great news to hear about Coach Judy. As we've talked about, Delaware legend, coaching legend here in this state, really kind of turned this sport around with, with that offense coming right out of the gate back in 2013, 2014 when he took over.
2014,
Yeah.
Well, Smyrna's going to go for it.
Appo's
going to go for it. We're talking too much about Smyrna. Husser back on the line of scrimmage at left tackle. Osebu in motion, and now we have a whistle and before the snap, and we've got to delay a game against Appo. So now it's going to be 4th and goal from the 14. I understand wanting to go for it here and get the tie. And I don't know what the range is on their field goal kicker.
There's the last time out of the half for Appo.
Okay, 4:26 to go in the half.
Got a 7-6 score there. Cape Henlopen on top.
Yep, Benny Mitchell and the Southern Crew doing that game tonight.
10-0 Tower kicks a field goal, sounds like here, Glenn.
Now, that's a little bit of an upset. I thought Wilmington Friends would.
No, Friends is up 10-0.
Oh, Friends is up. Okay, I thought I heard Tower Hill 10-0.
I did. I misspoke.
Okay.
Yep, you are correct. Yeah, you know, Glenn, here, this is tough. If you come up with 0 points here, it can really deflate you.
Unless you have enough confidence the way your defense is playing that they can hold Middletown down there and get the ball back. But now you have no timeouts remaining.
Nope. Again, I mean,
are they going to set it up for the field goal? It looks like the personnel.
7. I'm not. No, looks like they're gonna go for it here, Glenn. This is tough. Again, I'm putting the ball in the air. And unfortunately, this is a much more obvious setup to put the ball in the air, so I think Middletown's going to be prepared for it.
All right, let's see what they come up with. 4th and goal from the 14. Blitz is coming. Back to pass. Steps up into the pocket. Still running. Now he's just going to run it himself. Yard will. And he gets down to the 5-yard line, and that's where Middletown will take over on downs as Yard's helmet comes off.
Great job. I mean, you know, that's a young quarterback there, Glenn. That's a long run to try and make it into the end zone there from the 16.
Yeah.
But he saw the open field, and he went for it. I'd like to see that a little bit earlier and not on 4th down. I'd like to see that on 2nd down. I'd like to see that maybe on 1st down, try and catch him by surprise on the 1st and goal. I think that's going to be crucial for this Appo team. They're going to have to do that every now and then.
Got another update from the Smyrna Caesar Rodney game. Ymir Knight has caught a 10-yard touchdown pass. It's now 30-0 Smyrna at the start of the 2nd quarter. Handoff. Roberson circles into the end zone, gets across the 5, and out close to the 8-yard line. Dangerous play by Roberson, but it was positive yardage for the young man.
Speed kills. Appo did a great job, though, of trying to contain him there, but Roberson was able to get outside and turn what could have been a nightmare into a 2-yard gain.
2nd down coming up from Middletown, 2nd and about 7. They're going to spot the ball just shy of the Cavalier 9-yard line.
Somebody got to get out here on wide receiver, too. Nobody's really close to him.
Yeah, Troyer throws it near side, underthrown, but a good catch made by Priestley. And then he is tackled close to the 1st down. No, he's not at the 14-yard line.
What a stick right there by Dylan Griffith. He came up and just stoned him and to force a 3rd down and 3 here. But again, there was really nobody even close to him on that bubble screen. And if Troyer's able to hit him in stride, he may be able to get to the sideline and go.
Throw was a little low, so that might have thrown the timing off. Here's a give to Roberson. Hit in the backfield. Didn't go down. Now he does. And he's back down at the 10-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 10.
Noah Hoff, number 17, was the initial pressure. That's what slowed him down. And then he was cleaned up by Jaden Glover. Now, there is a penalty on the field. Let's see what this is.
Yeah. And our head referee,
it's a face mask.
Against.
So, face mask. Going to be an automatic 1st down there for the Cavs.
That's a big penalty. Appo would have forced a 4th and 10 with Middletown deep in their own end, probably forced to punt. And with 3:05 to go, Appo would probably get the ball in good field position. Instead, the Cavalier drive is still alive. Troyer back to pass, throws out in the far flat. Pass is broken up and almost picked off.
Wow. Tell you what, he got the ball right on Hinson. Tyreen just could not hold on to it. Bobbled it a little bit and was knocked off the ball there with the tight coverage by Jaden Glover, number 9. But they're lucky. You're exactly right, Glenn. Lucky that one wasn't deflected and picked off.
Stops the clock with 2:53 to go here in the half. Middletown on top, 7-0 on a punt return. Handoff to Pearson. Good to see him back in the game. And he goes up to the 29-yard line. He'll gain about 3.
That's Tyler Sheen and number 8, Antoine Osborne, coming up and making the play there. Again, gets that clock rolling here from Middletown. They're probably going to be okay with taking as much time as they can. This offense hasn't been on the field very often, Glenn. Haven't been able to get in a rhythm.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to have a couple of members of the Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance team to join us on the half. There's a snap to Troyer. Pressure's coming. He's wrapped up and sacked, and that's Demir Milam.
Great job by Milam. Came through, broke through, and was able to swallow up Troyer. And now a 4th down, a long punting unit coming on. What a stop by the Jags. They just won't go away here, Glenn. They won't go away.
Ball back now at the 23-yard line of the Cavs. Under 2 minutes to go. Clock running. McConomy is back to return the punt near midfield.
I'm punting this ball out of bounds. Punting it out of bounds if I'm the Cavs and Austin Ham.
Matthew Cole Jorgensen, the punter.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Yep.
Standing back deep.
They may take a delay here.
Hackett is the blocking back. There's a snap. It's a good one. Nice high punt. Usually not returnable. McConomy's going to let it bounce.
You got to come up and field that. Yeah.
Down at the Appo 36-yard line, stopping the clock with 1:16 to go in the half.
Got to come up, wave the hand, protect yourself, right? Don't let that ball bounce extra. That's another 6-7 yards of field position right there. All right, so you go, Glenn. You got 1:16 to go. What's Appo going to do here? Are they going to be content going to half and run the football, or are they going to try and make something happen through the air? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we will see. Whoops. So far, again, the big news tonight coming out of that Smyrna Caesar Rodney game is a sighting as head coach Mike Judy has returned to the field. He's back in his head coaching spot. Interim head coach, defensive coordinator Dan Wagner is back in his position on top of the press box, and Smyrna has a 30-0 lead at CR second quarter. McConomy up the middle, and not much there.
Now let's see if Middletown calls timeouts.
Gain of about, we're giving him a yard.
Looks like they're going to let the clock wind down. Appo looks to be content going to halftime, down only 7. Hey, the Jags have had their opportunities here,
Yeah.
Glenn. Defense has showed up here tonight, has completely stifled this Middletown offense, and they've actually moved the football.
Yeah, they have.
This defense just haven't been able to punch it in.
Now, Middletown has really stiffened up inside the red zone. Clock just running. Cavaliers, or Appo, taking their time coming up to the ball. We're down to 33 seconds to go in the half. Second down and about 7. McConomy starts right, cuts it back up in the middle. He crossed the 40 to the 41, and now a timeout being taken by Middletown as it will be 3rd down and 5.
They haven't stopped the clock yet, but they will get that stopped and probably put some time back on. Interesting. Interesting decision.
Yeah.
Especially when you have 3 timeouts left.
Well, they're probably going to figure that Appo's going to run it another time here with McConomy, so they'll use another timeout there.
And then have one left for offense?
Yeah, now the clock still shows just 17.9. Now, the biggest play tonight for Middletown has been returns. They've reset the clock to 23. So that's maybe what they're trying to get is a timeout and set up the punt return. That's where they scored on an 85-yarder.
Yeah, that's the difference in this game right now, Glenn.
And if I'm Appo, I tell the punters, hey, do not punt this to their return man. Punt it out of bounds, or just punt it so high, it'll be a lot of hang time. We'll get guys down there, and they'll have to fair catch it. But you do not want a punt return here. If you're an Appo fan, if you're a Middletown fan, you're saying, oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm telling you, I'm getting real crazy here, Glenn. I'm play action throwing a bomb right now, trying to catch Middletown sleeping.
Now we'll see what happens.
It's probably not going to happen, but that's just where my mind is.
The sophomore gives it to McConomy, tries to get the left. Oh, what a pop on him back at the 40. Oh, that was a stinger. Another Middletown timeout, but was that number 9 defensively? Was that Glover? Oh, man, what a stick.
It was a little bit of a stare down afterwards, too, which can always be – that was David Roberson, Glenn, number 9, for Middletown. Came up and made a play.
David Roberson.
Came up and stuck.
Senior D-back. What a stick that was. Yeah, I didn't have my board flipped. I always have the board flipped.
Yeah, now 4th down. They got a punt upcoming. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would think, though, right?
Well, that's Mason Reinhardt in the punt. And the dangerous Mr. Pearson back.
Yeah, you got to put this one. I think you're right, Glenn. You got to put this one out of bounds. You can see an assistant flying down here with the headsets. I wonder if he's going to stand where they want him to punt it.
Yeah, probably.
Look at him. You can see him.
Yeah.
Trying to wave him down. Punt it to me, son.
Angle the punt, and that would be well away from where Pearson's standing. Yep, he angled it.
Smart.
And that's
a
smart.
Beauty. That's a great punt, too. Look, he put it right at him. He put it right at him, Glenn.
Yep, and it went out of bounds just inside the 31-yard line.
What a punt for the brand right there. Pat McAfee would be excited with that one.
7 seconds to go in the half. Let's see if Middletown tries a pass play or whether they just want to take a knee and go into the locker room and talk about adjustments.
Oh, I'm taking a shot. I'm a little riverboat gambler, I guess, a little bit in me here, but I am absolutely taking a shot because Appo's going to get the ball coming out of the half.
Right.
I'm taking a shot here trying to score, go up by 2 scores, and now you got a little bit of a cushion going into the second half.
All right, here we go. What could be the final play of the first half. these two district rivals. They're in the same district in Class 3A, and of course they're in the same school district.
Got quads to the field side, one receiver to the boundary here. Glenn, empty set.
Yep. And the D-backs are well off the line of scrimmage.
I'm blitzing.
And now we got a whistle before the snap.
Delay a game. How about that, Glenn? They didn't reset the play clock for him.
So now back to the 26-yard line of the Cavs.
You got McConaughey back here at beyond midfield here.
Center field. He's playing center field. There's a throw in the far flat. It's complete. Makes one defender miss, but not a second. And that is Priestley on the reception, and that'll bring us to the close of the first half of action here at Appo High. What a well-played first half, 7-0, Middletown on top, Pat. And again, a punt return. It was a special team breakdown for Appo, or we'd be scoreless going into the locker room.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What a game. What a game so far. Appo making a statement out here tonight, right? They took a week 1 loss against St. Mark's, got a bounce-back win last week, but Middletown has been considered a cut above the rest here in the state of Delaware, them and Smyrna.
Right.
And this is definitely a statement here by Appo, hanging tough, and you're right, one big play is the difference.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is a scoreless game at halftime. Who would have thought that one?
Yeah. And speaking of Smyrna, as Pat just did, we're going to update your score down there. With 7:25 to go in the half, Smyrna leading Cesar Rodney 38-0. So unless the Riders can get on the board, they'll start the second half with the running clock down in Camden, Delaware. But the big news in that game, the return of head coach Mike Judy to the sidelines. That's great to hear, and our thanks to Earl Biddle, who's down there sending us updates here to the press box.
Yeah.
Right? Good stuff. All right, let's take time out now to hear from some of our and see some of our commercials of our awesome sponsors, and we hope that you'll do your best to patronize our sponsors throughout the year and tell them you saw their ad on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. It's halftime. Back after this.
I'm Chef Hari Cameron. At Grandpa Mac, pasta's our thing. We serve quality food fast that's not fast food. We make everything in-house and serve something for everyone. We're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Follow the noodle to Grandpa Mac.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822. Melissa Ellis is part of 4 Acre Realty Company. She is licensed in both Delaware and Pennsylvania. Melissa knows that being personable and patient is a key to her success as a realtor. Helping both buyers and sellers understand current market values and conditions puts them in the best position when making an offer or pricing a home for sale. That kind of high-level professional communication and her skill at being a team player put Melissa's clients at ease, knowing she has their best interests at heart. Melissa is also an athlete herself, playing multiple sports, so she understands what teamwork means. She is still involved in sports, whether it's sponsoring, coaching, or being team mom for her own 2 daughters' teams. What sets her apart is how grateful Melissa is for the trust of her clients. She never takes that trust for granted. She affords all people respect and honesty and works hard to be the support system clients need and deserve. Melissa Ellis. Strong connections, strong service.
High school athletics is not what it used to be. The sporting goods industry has been disrupted, adding to coach and athletic director daily challenges. BSN Sports stands ready to change the fundamentals of our industry, giving our customers the advantages they need right now. Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Get the look of D1 colleges and pro teams with our program that streamlines ordering your staff apparel, player gear, and fanwear. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and ready in minutes. Our campus branding products are perfect for boosting school and team pride. BSN Sports has the advantages you need right now.
Back here at halftime, Middletown leading Appo by a score of 7-0, and we are now joined by a couple of members of Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. First, we have Mandy Minatola, and Mandy is the Director of Athletic Training. Mandy, what does that entail?
Great question.
Yeah.
So athletic trainers, we are on site for a lot of different high schools throughout the state. Well, all the high schools in Delaware have athletic trainers, so we are there to take care of the athletes. So we are in charge of prevention, diagnosis, eval, treatment of injuries. If anything were to go wrong, we deal with mental health.
Yeah.
Basically, we are there for the athletes to take care of them.
Very, very important, and especially at these events during contact sports like football or wrestling, to have somebody, lacrosse even, or soccer. So the DIAA during the off season in the summer made a point that every school had to have an athletic trainer. Some didn't. So tell us the importance of having someone there, as you have locations all up and down the state.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's very important. So injuries happen no matter what we do, right? We do everything we can to prevent them, but they still happen, and it's important to have someone that is trained in sports medicine, injuries, athletic care, that is there to take care of these kids and for the community, for the parents, right? To have someone there that they know that knows what to do, how to take care of them, and anything can happen at any point, and it's just important to have someone that is trained there. And if you think about it, schools would never not have a nurse, right? They would never not have a nurse during the day, but why do we not require there to be someone trained when kids are most active, right? During sports. So very important.
It's a great job that you have, and it's great to have Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance up and down the state to help support these sporting activities.
Yeah.
Mandy, thanks for joining us. We only have two headsets, so now we're going to switch up here, and we're going to bring Jen Atwood in. You can just set that down there. Thank you so much. Now we'll bring in Jen here momentarily. Get her all set up here. Microphone up. There you go. Don't be afraid.
Perfect.
There we go. Now I understand you're the big deal.
Well, no.
We're talking to the CEO now of Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, Jen Atwood. And Jen was so kind. About a month ago, we had, I think it was our preseason show.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
we did it from your location right here in Middletown, and you patiently sat through all that nonsense that we did.
I liked hearing the breakdown of what you predicted for the fall for all the sports. It was great.
We just had a little conversation with your Director of Athletic Training, Mandy, and it's so important. I mean, here we are at a football game here tonight. To think that there were some schools that actually had football games and there was no trainer around to assist in case there was, any kind of injury, severe or not. So,
yeah, we are certainly very thankful for our athletic trainers. They do a phenomenal job keeping the student athletes safe and healthy and just overseeing so much of their care. It's so important to have them out there for sure.
Now you're the CEO, so
I am.
is that of just the Middletown location? We're talking about all the Delaware
No,
locations?
you know, interestingly, it's really been nationwide with
Okay.
athletic trainers this year. And the high school setting, you have to imagine, it's a pretty demanding job, right? It's nights, it's weekends. It's just really challenging on individuals. Think about once you have a family. So nationwide, they've really seen a shift in athletic trainers and the types of settings they're working in. And the high school's been a challenging one.
Now, it's interesting, the night that we were setting up to do the show there,
Mhm.
you were actually administering some service to, I think it was a baseball player.
Yeah, good memory.
So, yeah, sometimes. But anyhow, you get a lot of athletes that are not necessarily injured in a sporting activity, but they just want to come in and have you work on them and get them in shape for their sport.
Yeah, we do see that sometimes, and you know now people are playing at such a higher level at a younger age that we do see a lot of injuries, and that's why we've really tried to be involved in the community and just get our name out there and the services we can provide to help these kids before they get somewhere where there's an athletic trainer that can triage them and help them get the care they need.
So we have people out there viewing and listening to the broadcast.
Yeah.
Just let them know the contact information, how to get in touch with you guys, and the website.
Yeah, for sure. Our website is premierptsp.com, and we have 10 locations throughout the state of Delaware, so we're in all 3 counties, and we do offer free consultations to anyone who, you know, the athletic trainers use that a lot. They're not sure if someone needs PT or they want a second opinion. Send them on in. We'll do a free consult. We'll help you get you in the hands of the right medical practitioner if we think you need that. We'll start care or give you a home program if that's what's most important. And in Delaware, we're a direct access state, which means you can actually come without a doctor's prescription. So it makes it a very quick and easy process for those individuals.
So if you need the phone number, you want to give them a call
Yeah.
or send any kind of a message, you go to the website.
Yeah.
Once again, I'll get you to give the website address, and you'll find all the information right there.
Yeah, definitely. We have all 10 locations right up on the top, so you can pick the location closest to you and give a call, or any location you call, we can direct you there.
Our thanks to Jen Atwood and Mandy Minatola for joining us here at halftime here tonight, but more importantly, for the service that you provide to the community and the athletes, not only in this area, but throughout the state and all across the country. We thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break here on halftime, and we'll be back with more, some stats, the scoring, and we'll get some scores too, updates from around the state. We'll do that on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
It's time for Delaware Live Sports Top 10 Plays of the Week for week number 2. We're going to get started with Newark Charter and Ursuline here at number 10. Kennedy Pavlikevich to Harini at Lurie from Newark Charter with our first play here at number 10. Video courtesy of Ann Williams. There it is, saved up and in for the point. And then over to Ursuline, it's Haley Timmons and Hannah Kelly. Here you see the setup, and then boom, Kelly comes over, sends it down and in for the point. Over to number 9 and to the football field, it's Hodson and Sussex Central. Here is Jace Hawkins making a play on defense. Run stuffed up the middle. Ball comes loose. It's a pile. Ball comes out of the pile, and Jace Hawkins comes away with the ball. Scoop and score for the Hodson stud there at number 9. Then back to the volleyball court here at St. Mark's for number 8. Taylor Holly going to have a few saves here. How about that one? Dive, able to save it up. And then another one here. Holly up to hit the deck and save yet another one for St. Mark's at number 8. This one courtesy of 47 ABC. Jameer Snell making plays all season long. Here he is again. Tyndall up over the sideline, up over 2 defenders goes Snell. Check out the slow-mo. All hands able to bring it in under the elevation. Gets the feet down. Jameer Snell at number 7. On to number 6. Some touchdown saving interceptions. It's Makai Beach from Hodson getting us started there in the back of the end zone. Hauls that one in. And then Xavier Moore from Red Lion. Check out the closing speed here from the safety position, gets a read on it, and able to make the play. Tips it into his own hands for the interception. Over to number 5, we've got some touchdown passes for you. First up, it's going to be Trey Moores and Jackson Steen from Sussex Central. How about the air under this one? An absolute perfect throw and catch. Moores to Steen for the touchdown. Then Tyndall to Johnson Oakley, this time over the left shoulder into the bread basket. Johnson Oakley going to do the rest himself into the end zone. And rounding us out, Evan Buttlinger to Kyle Manley. Check out Kyle Manley, able to come back to the ball, make the catch, and then just a few missed tackles. He's going to break 2 2 of them on his way to the end zone for a touchdown. Some good ones there at number 5. On to number 4. This might be the biggest one of the week. Austin Troyer here. Tie game in the Harvest Bowl on 4th and 13. Troyer sets his feet, fires, defender slips, and Crisilla in the end zone for the go-ahead and game-winning touchdown. Troyer to Crisilla. Middletown gets the win. Then over to number 3, more Jameer Snell. It seems like he's in the top plays every week. Here he's going to do it on special teams. You might not want to kick it to him. Here he catches it at the 45, gets right to the sideline. Check out the angles from Milford. You think they could get to him, but too much speed for Jameer Snell into the end zone. Another touchdown for the young man out of Lake Forest. Then over to number 2, it's Wilson Alexandre here from Milford, keeping the Bucks in this one, trailing 34-20 in the third. He's going to catch it at the 18, and he is off to the races. Sees a hole, reverses field, breaks a few tackles, and then he gets to the sideline. Nobody going to catch him. 30, 20, 10 into the end zone for Wilderson Alexandra, keeping Milford in there at the kick return touchdown. Then our top play, Patrick Henry from Sussex Central. If you haven't seen this one, watch closely. Going to take the handoff. How about the hurdle at the 30? Leaps a defender, and then he shows off the speed. Not going to be touched all his way into the end zone. How about a broken tackle there at the goal line? But what a play as you check out the slow-mo from Henry. Check out the hurdle completely over the defender. He would go the rest of the way. Pat, keep your phone on. I'm sure the track coach calling to get you out for the hurdles. What a run for our top play of the week. It's time for Delaware Live Sports Top 10 Plays of the Week for week number 2. We're going to get started with Newark Charter and Ursuline here at number 10. Kennedy Pavlikevich to Harini at Lurie from Newark Charter with our first play here at number 10. Video courtesy of Ann Williams. There it is, saved up and in for the point. And then over to Ursuline, it's Haley Timmons and Hannah Kelly. Here you see the setup, and then boom, Kelly comes over, sends it down and in for the point. Over to number 9 and to the football field, it's Hodson and Sussex Central. Here is Jace Hawkins making a play on defense. Run stuffed up the middle. Ball comes loose. It's a pile. Ball comes out of the pile, and Jace Hawkins comes away with the ball. Scoop and score for the Hodson stud there at number 9. Then back to the volleyball court here at St. Mark's for number 8. Taylor Holly going to have a few saves here. How about that one? Dive, able to save it up. And then another one here. Holly up to hit the deck and save yet another one for St. Mark's at number 8. This one courtesy of 47 ABC. Jameer Snell making plays all season long. Here he is again. Tyndall up over the sideline, up over 2 defenders. Goes Snell. Check out the slow-mo. All hands able to bring it in under the elevation. Gets the feet down. Jameer Snell at number 7. On to number 6. Some touchdown saving interceptions. It's Makai Beach from Hodson getting us started there in the back of the end zone. Hauls that one in. And then Xavier Moore from Red Lion. Check out the closing speed here from the safety position, gets a read on it and able to make the play, tips it into his own hands for the interception. Over to number 5, we've got some touchdown passes for you. First up, it's going to be Trey Moores and Jackson Steen from Sussex Central. How about the air under this one? An absolute perfect throw and catch. Moores to Steen for the touchdown. Then Tyndall to Johnson Oakley, this time over the left shoulder into the breadbasket. Johnson Oakley going to do the rest himself into the end zone. And rounding us out, Evan Budlinger to Kyle Manley. Check out Kyle Manley, able to come back to the ball, make the catch, and then just a few missed tackles. He's going to break 2 of them on his way to the end zone for a touchdown. Some good ones there at number 5. On to number 4. This might be the biggest one of the week. Austin Troyer here. Tie game in the Harvest Bowl on 4th and 13. Troyer sets his feet, fires, defender slips, and Crisilla in the end zone for the go-ahead and game-winning touchdown. Troyer to Crisilla. Middletown gets the win. Then over to number 3, more Jameer Snell. It seems like he's in the top plays every week. Here he's going to do it on special teams. You might not want to kick it to him. Here he catches it at the 45, gets right to the sideline. Check out the angles from Milford. You think they could get to him, but too much speed for Jameer Snell into the end zone. Another touchdown for the young man out of Lake Forest. Then over to number 2, it's Wilson Alexandre here from Milford, keeping the Bucks in this one, trailing 34-20 in the third. He's going to catch it at the 18, and he is off to the races. Sees a hole, reverses field, breaks a few tackles, and then he gets to the sideline. sideline. Nobody going to catch him. 30, 20, 10 into the end zone for Wilderson Alexandra, keeping Milford in there at the kick return touchdown. Then our top play, Patrick Henry from Sussex Central. If you haven't seen this one, watch closely. Going to take the handoff. How about the hurdle at the 30? Leaps a defender, and then he shows up.
Back here, halftime just about coming to a close here at Appo High. Middletown 7, Appo nothing, thanks to an 85-yard punt return by Michael Pearson from Middletown, the only scoring in the game. Pat, how about the numbers?
Yeah, taking a look at it, Glenn, you had alluded to one of the big plays here, but taking a look overall at the teams, you're going to be surprised by what you see to the left here. 3 yards rushing from Middletown and only 17 yards through the air. They rarely had the ball in the first half because of Appo's ball control, and when they did have the ball, Appo was all over them for this one. So impressive there, and as you mentioned, the difference maker, number 3, Mikey Pearson's 85-yard punt return. That's the reason why the score right now is only 7-0. On the flip side, how can that happen, Pat?
Yeah.
How can Appo dominate the ball for so long to where he only got 20 yards of total offense from Middletown? This Middletown team.
Yeah.
121 yards rushing for the Jaguars, 7 through the air, which, like I alluded to it, love to see that, average out a little bit more. I think that's going to be a key for him here in the second half. And then their guy there, Daniel McConomy. We talked about him in the pregame. Glenn, you alluded to. Looks like there's a moment of silence going on here.
Yeah, and it's now ended.
Yeah. So
it was a member of the class of 2023 that unfortunately passed away, and our condolences out to his family.
Absolutely. That's a moment right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, McConomy, 29 carries in the first half for 112 yards. They dominated the time of possession in the first half.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do so again here in the second half, and they're going to have to find a way to punch it in.
Yeah.
Because they had many opportunities to do so and just weren't able to convert.
All right, so Coach Timpson told us you can expect McConomy to run the ball 30 times. He hit that in the first half pretty much. 29 carries there in the first half. So we're going to double down on that. We're going to say it's going to be closer to 60.
That's insane.
By the time the night's over.
Those are Derrick Henry high school numbers, Glenn. Honestly, that's incredible.
Let's take a look at some scores that we have up and down the state. McCain, how about the season for McCain? And you got to think of it, too, is they've got those seniors for AI DuPont that weren't going to play a varsity schedule, and the DIAA let that happen. That's just a fantastic story. So the AI McCain varsity team winning some ball games this year, and they lead Concord. Started the fourth quarter 24-14. St. Elizabeth leads Tatnall 14-0 in the second quarter. That is the Upstate Cruise game of the week, and you can flip over and watch some of that if you want. Delmar leads Milford 7-0 into one quarter. It's Wilmington Friends leading Tower Hill 29-0 at the half. Caravel 14-7 over Red Lion second quarter. Close ball game there up in Bear. Dover 14, Cape 7 at the half. And late in the second quarter, it was Smyrna 38 and Caesar Rodney nothing. And if you joined us late, good news for Smyrna and really everybody involved in football behind head coach Mike Judy, who had a temporary medical leave. He's back on the sidelines tonight. He is head coaching that football team. And interim head coach Dan Wagner, who took over for the first couple of games, back in his defensive coordinator role, sitting up on top of the press box.
Absolutely, yes, and we've alluded to it a few times here on the stream, but it can't be said enough. That is an absolute amazing thing to see.
Yes.
To see Coach Judy back on the sideline. It feels like football season again now with him roaming the sidelines for that Smyrna program.
Here's the opening kickoff of the second half. It takes a bounce, and picking it up at the 18-yard line is number 19 for Appo. That's Dylan Griffith. And Griffith goes down at the 27.
Score update, Glenn. Vikings score again, 20-0 over Tatnall right now in the second quarter.
That's the Vikings of St. E's, right?
That is correct.
Because we also have another game downstate with the Vikings of Cape Henlopen.
It's true. It's our Viking brethren, as we like to say.
All right, here we go to start the second half. Third quarter, Appo with the football. And as you saw with Pat's stats, Appo with over 120 yards rushing in the first half to 3 net rushing yards from Middletown.
It's insane. And, we don't keep it here because we don't have the advanced statistics right now, but I would love to have seen the time of possession.
Yeah. McConomy, and there's a mix-up on the first play.
Wow.
It's a busted play, and he managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, but it looked like Yard wanted to hand off to his right, and McConomy came up on the left side.
Yeah, miscommunication right there between quarterback and running back. They are lucky that they did not fumble that football. There was a rush of Middletown defenders coming through. Led there, I believe that was number 66, leading the way through there, Dakari Oratade.
They call him DK, Coach told me. And he was not in the starting alignment defensively, so that must be an adjustment the Cavaliers have made. Low snap again. Finally picked up by Yard. He's going to throw down the sideline, and it's almost picked off by Pearson, and he dropped it.
You know, that play just was kind of doomed from the beginning. Appo having some trouble here early, this opening possession, and I'll tell you what, lucky that one mistake didn't turn into two there. Yard is lucky that Pearson wasn't able to haul that one in. Got to clean this up here. Got to clean this up if you're the Appo Jacks. I do like the idea, though, of throwing the football. I know I've been saying that.
I give a lot of credit to the Appoquinimink offensive line because that ball was on the turf for a long time before it was finally picked up, and they kept the defensive rush out of the backfield. Third down and long. Yard turns, gives it to McConomy. Big hole off the right side. He has the first down out across the 40 to the 41.
Great job by McConomy, and he was one broken tackle away from busting that one. Big time first down for Appo, and again, let's see if they can get these chains moving, and again, wear down that Middletown defense. They've been out there a lot here in this game. It's going to be a matter of who's going to be more in shape, who's going to get after it here in the second half.
Well, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, McConomy gained about 180 yards on the ground against a very good St. Mark's defense in game number 1. McConomy again starts left side, puts the helmet down, carries defenders for another first down.
This is impressive, Glenn.
10-yard pickup there.
This is absolutely impressive. I'll tell you what, the only offense I've seen thus far that's so heavily involved on one player is St. Elizabeth with Kasim Benson. He just totes carries after carry. McConomy is over 30 carries against the number 1 or number 2 defense. You could throw Smyrna's defense in there too in the state, and he doesn't look gassed at all.
136 yards by our count. There's a snap again down along the turf. Yard just got it and handed off to McConomy, but again, it threw off the timing of the play, and there's a loss.
And there's a Middletown player down on the play. That's always scary to see.
That's in the backfield.
Looks to be a lower body thing. I hope everything's okay. Those are always scary, that's for sure. But, yeah, nice job. I mean, it was a great play by the player as well. I mean, that Middletown defensive line finally broke through there and was able to hit McConomy in the backfield.
So Appo having a little bit of trouble right now with the center snaps in the gun. They've had some low snaps. They've had some in the first half too, and they've come out a little bit out of sync. Yeah. First couple of plays from scrimmage here in this third quarter, Pat.
Yeah, they have. And you know what, luckily for them, McConomy's kind of bailed them out. But, yeah, it hasn't been clean here to start the second half off. Yet they find themselves in plus territory, and this is going to be the question. Are they going to be able to finish this drive off? This is now the third or fourth drive they put together against this Middletown defense. They have not been able to finish it off. Let's see if they're able to do that here. It would be huge if they're able to get a score and either tie this game up, draw within 1, or potentially take the lead if they go for 2. This is a big moment here for Appo. Are they going to push this game? They continue on the trend of upset alert for Middletown, or are they going to go 3 and out and allow Middletown to try and extend their lead? Let's see.
Yeah, unfortunately, the player is being helped off, and that's the player that we just saw make some plays here. They call him DK, Dakari Oratade.
Yeah.
And that does not look good.
No.
You know, and thanks again to Jen and Mandy from Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance for joining us at halftime. Nice little interview with them and the outstanding service they provide to the community. And I'm sure one of their trainers is down there tonight to help out the young man.
Looks like both of them. Both of them are down there.
How about that? That's fantastic. We're just talking to them at halftime, and now they're put to the task already.
It's one of our great sponsors here at Delaware Live Sports. Really appreciate what they do. Dr. Straight, and obviously those two as well.
All right, back down on the field, Pat. We're ready to go. Second down at 10. McConomy started right, cuts it left. Good tackle, arm tackle made after a yard gain. And that looks like was that Hackett? No, 53 in there for Middletown. That's Glenn Bruckner.
Yeah, Bruckner did a great job breaking through. He just came in. I mean, that's the substitute that just came into the game. And he was able to disrupt that run for McConomy. Now a third down and long.
Yep.
is typically a pretty obvious passing down here. Let's see what this Middletown defense does. Obviously, Appo's only thrown the ball a handful of times.
Right. 3
Let's see what
attempts.
they do.
3 attempts in the game. Third down and 9. Let's see if the snap. The snap's up high that time. Appoquinimink gets it. Pearson's chasing him down, and Pearson gets him as he came off the far edge to make the tackle.
There's just not much you can do. Again, you can see the motion come, and they're just sending Pearson right off of that motion, and that's going to be hard. I mean, Mikey Pearson's a Division I athlete, and I know Appoquinimink's got a lot of speed, but you get him getting a head start, bearing down on you. It's going to be hard to run to the outside against that. And they're going to go for it. It was 4-down territory, Glenn.
4th and 9, near midfield, really, at the Cavalier 48.
It's a good opportunity here for a hard count. Now, they got to get on the ball.
Right.
They're wasting some time here. Keep an eye on that back judge, Glenn. Let's see if they get to the play clock dwindled down.
All right, Yard has Appoquinimink behind him, trips to the top of your screen. He's back to pass. Pressure's now coming, and he's going to be sacked. That's Hackett, and that's a coverage sack.
It was, and it looked like some miscommunication there by Appoquinimink in the backfield. No one really pass pro'd that outside linebacker. There was a couple of guys who had no one to block. Quarterback rolled out to the right. Someone's got to pick that extra rusher up.
That's about a 10-yard loss on that sack, Pat.
Yeah, and then on the second note, Yard, again, he's a young quarterback, 10th grader, varsity experience. Your anxiety can build when your first read isn't open.
Yeah.
The first read wasn't open, and he bailed out of the pocket. And unfortunately, if he would have sat in the pocket and just waited a little bit longer, I think something could have developed for him.
Middletown takes over on downs at the 40-yard line of Appo. It's Pearson with the first down carry, and he got 4. Pearson had 3 carries for 8 yards in the first half because of what you said. Ball control. Ball control offense by Appo kept Middletown's offense off the field.
That they did, and I tell you what, it's a big stop for this defense, and this offense has got to try and get something going. They have been stalled here in this game by this defense. And see if they can get in some kind of rhythm, some kind of momentum.
Trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver, Henson to the bottom. Looks towards Henson. Throws it down the sidelines, and Henson got turned around. It's incomplete, and again, out of bounds.
That is a great point, Glenn. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Henson started turning. That's the cardinal sin as a receiver and as a secondary guy. You never want to start your back pedal when the ball's in the air. Troyer threw that ball as if Henson was going to continue to run.
Yeah.
And if he did that ball probably lands right in the breadbasket, but he got turned around for a split second, and it turned into an overthrow.
All right, brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Cavaliers. And now we've got all kinds of movement before the snap. Husser moved across the line. Number 68, Bradley Sutton moved.
Unbelievable, Glenn. That's a uniform violation on Appo. That's a no play. That was a no play. There was a young man. They blew that play dead because someone had their T-shirt on top.
Okay, there you go. Troyer takes a snap. He hands it off up the middle of Pearson, who is gang tackled for no gain. It's going to be 4th and 7.
Yeah, yet again, we've called this young man's name out a lot here tonight. Daimir Milam coming through and making a play again and showing some excitement.
Yes.
I love that. He's got a lot of energy, Glenn.
Yeah, he was psyched. So it's 4th down and 7 for the Cavaliers. They're way out of field goal range. They're going to have to go for it. 7:25 to go here in this third quarter. It's still 7-0 Middletown.
Cannot help but be impressed by this Jaguar defense.
Yeah. Troyer, 2-step drop. A blitzing secondary man, and he overthrows his intended receiver, incomplete.
That's a bravo to the defensive staff there for Appoquinimink. 4th down and 9. They dial up a blitz, and they get there. Wonderful job. They get Troyer having to deliver the ball before he wants to. He delivers it high and outside, and it's another stop for the Appo defense. What a job by these guys.
Pat, how many times have we seen these teams tonight, both of them, give the ball up on downs?
Yeah. It's the immovable objects. I mean, you can't move against their defenses so far.
This is a lot like last week's game in the Harvest Bowl where both defenses really dominated the game, and these two defenses are dominating the game here tonight.
They are. This is fun to watch. And I tell you what, it kind of makes you reconsider maybe your thought processes. I know Appo's been getting some top 7 votes from our panelists.
Oh, McConomy hitting the backfield.
Wow.
Blitzing through there, Jaden Wheeler with a hit.
What a hit by Wheeler.
And McConomy has really taken some sticks here in the second half.
Yeah, he got drilled, and, it was a dangerous play because the momentum of the hit had Wheeler almost like barrel roll on the McConomy's legs. Luckily, they didn't get caught up underneath there, but.
So Middletown's defensive coordinator dialing up some secondary run blitzes here in the second half. Wheeler was there by the time that McConomy got the handoff.
Well, that's why I've been calling for the play-action pass specifically, Glenn. That could kind of soften the defense up. Play-action pass, throw some slants, some quick routes.
There's movement, flags all over the place. That's going to be 5 yards farther back.
Yeah.
So it'll be second down at 20 for Appo.
But that's how you soften those run blitzes up, Glenn. You got to do play action, whether it be a slant, whether it be a tight end pop. You got to do something to throw where that vacating linebacker's coming from. Quick hitting passes. Because if you don't, you're going to get sacked. That's the answer right now to try and soften this defense up and give McConomy a little more space.
Second down and 20 for Appo. McConomy lined up behind Yard. Two-step drop for Yard. He looks in the far flat, throws it up, and it was deflected off a couple of defenders' hands, incomplete.
Wasn't there. They run an all hitch. Middletown, they're just waiting for it.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there in their zone. They read pass. They're sitting in their zone. There's just nothing much there on that play.
So that brings up third down and 20. And I'm thinking what you have to do here for Appo, put some receivers in the game. They do. They have trips to the bottom of the screen, one to the top. Spread the defense out a little and hope McConomy can bust one through the gap. And they do give it to McConomy. And he gets to the outside. He gets all the penalty yardage back to the 40-yard line, and it'll bring up fourth down and about 8.
Yeah, great job there. Like you said, Glenn, that's a good call by you there. Spread the field out, get some guys out of the box where they can't really get that strong run blitz that we've been seeing from them. Give McConomy some space. You did that. You got half of the yardage that you needed there. Now you got a fourth down and, like you said, 7 or 8 yards.
Yep, right at their own 40-yard line. Clock running, 5:30 counting to go in the third quarter.
Here's a punt.
Yep, Mason Reinhardt in the punt. And I'm sure the Appo coach's special team coach once again wants him to just boot this downfield out of bounds, or at least near the sideline. There's a snap. It's perfect. Pressure comes. He got the punt off. It takes an Appo bounce, but it's covered up nicely by the special teams, and it's going to be down inside the Cavalier 20 at the 16-yard line. That is a very effective punt with no return.
Great punt there. I'll tell you what, Pearson, that ball almost took an unfortunate bounce right to his foot. You see that ball bouncing a lot of times. Guys are like, get away, get away from it. If you're going to field it on that hop, if you're going to stand behind the ball, then fall on it, right? Or something, you know what I mean? To save yourself some field position. That's going to be unpopular for some viewers, right? That's going to be unpopular to some viewers. Oh no, you got to get away from the football. Not when you're at the level of some of these athletes are that are back here returning punts. Save yourself 15 yards of field position there.
All right, here we go. First and 10 for Middletown. Their second offensive drive of the second half. Passing the far flat over the head of one receiver and then almost caught by Gracilla, but incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like Vernal Gary was the intended target there, and you're right, a little bit high on his choice. Troyer's been off, and I think a big reason is just haven't been able to get in a rhythm. They've only had the ball for a certain amount of time.
Pat, how about 147 yards passing for Troyer against St. John's from D.C.?
Yeah,
one of the top teams in the country. Almost 200 last week against Smyrna, and he has under 20 yards tonight.
Yeah. That's credit to the Appo Jaguar defense, man.
Looking near sideline. Henson was wide open. He goes up and gets it at the 25-30. Breaks the tackle at the 45. He's at midfield. He's downfield at the 30. He has a blocker with him, and he's going to take it all the way. Another big play for Middletown, and their second touchdown of the night.
They were able to spread the field. Henson gets into an opening. Troyer delivers it on time, and then you just let the athlete make a play. Henson is a difference maker with the ball in his hands. That's just the first time he's touched it tonight, and he was able to break that one loose for the, like you said, Glenn, the second big play, I believe, of over 80 yards.
Yes, both of them, yes.
I mean, that was just an incredible job of yards after the catch and creating separation and then just going. And I'll tell you what, I think the key to that play, Matt Priestley's running right with
Yes.
them to take away the angle that Gavin Tucker was taking to try and cut him off before the end zone.
Just a little curl-in pattern, as we used to call it, and he just found a seam in the middle of all the defenders.
Yeah, great protection by that Middletown offensive line. They gave Troyer time to set his feet and deliver that ball with accuracy, and he put it right on him, right on Hinson, and then Hinson did the rest.
All right, big touchdown pass, covers 84 yards, and it's 14-0, 4:35 to go in the third. Back after this.
Keep missing it, dude.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon.
Well, it's been the big play capability of the Middletown Cavaliers that has them on top in this game tonight, 14-0. 85-yard punt return in the first half, and we just saw an 86-yard pass play to give Cavaliers a 2-score lead. Got a score for you. Benny Mitchell and the Southern crew. Dover has scored again. They now lead Cape 26-6 in the second half of that one.
Tell you what, man, Coach Chip Knapp, you're starting to see him get his fingerprints all over that program, Glenn. They are a well-organized team. They've got firepower on the offensive side of the ball, and that defense is starting to figure some things out. They were impressive in that Week 1 game that we did against an impressive Arundel team.
Kickoff is taken just inside the Appo 20, out across the 26-yard line. And on the return, that was number 7 for the Jags. Jalen Bruton-Brown, a senior. So Appo to get back in the game, Pat. Plenty of time, 4:31 to go in the third, but I think you're going to go back to your point before. You've been having success with McConomy running the ball, but you got to mix it up a little bit.
You got to. I mean, you've become predictable, right? This Middletown defense, you're doing a great job anyway.
Yeah.
Because Middletown knows you're going to run the ball, and you've still been able to move it for the most part, but you're stalling. You're stalling out. You got to try and establish the pass. Now you're down 2 scores. This run, ground and pound type approach is going to be tough to come back from a multiple score lead or a multiple score deficit.
Right.
So got to try and start mixing it in. We'll see if they do that. They may just stick to their guns. As you can see, no quarterback on the field here.
Right, it's going to be a direct snap to McConomy, and he'll take it straight ahead. Gets up across the 30, still going up to about the 32. He kept those legs churning. And it's going to be a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. I'm surprised, really, if he's going to take the direct snap, that they don't use Husser again as a blocking back.
Lead back, yeah.
Look like he gained 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
See, there's some chirping going on down there now, Glenn. And
getting a little chippy.
You're gonna have you got to try and keep your cool here. You got to try and keep your cool. Either side can't afford really any unsportsmanlikes.
And the officials just talked to, I think it was defensive lineman Kasim Powell. He just went off, and Middletown will bring Curran in to replace him.
I think what they're doing is they're sending players off that's undershirts.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, but I honestly don't know. It's something with the uniform.
McConomy again takes a direct snap. He's tackled from behind by Beckford, who's been on a lot of stops tonight. Looks like he managed to gain a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 6.
Hey, Middletown, great job here on this drive, knowing a run's coming and finding ways to prevent it, because Appo's done a great job up front of moving the line of scrimmage forward.
We're approaching the 3-minute mark to go here in this third quarter. 3rd down and 6 for the Jags. McConomy stays in to take the direct snap. He has a blocking back there with him in Caden Harvey-Brown, a sophomore. And he hands it off to the sophomore, and he is tripped up from behind. It'll be a loss, and that's Hackett on the stop.
Great job by Hackett coming off the edge, securing that tackle. And again, now I see some body language starting to sag here from Appoquinimink. Hey, you guys are in this game. You guys are right there. Don't start letting that happen now.
Well,
and again, Here's a dangerous return man here in Pearson. See how they decide to kick it to him.
Well, Reinhardt kicked it to him the first punt of the ball game, and that was a disaster. It was a touchdown of 85 yards. Then he angled a punt out of bounds, and the last one, he got it down there so his coverage team could get down to down it. Angles it towards the far sideline. It's going to bounce in the 40. Pearson takes it up on a bounce, and he went out of bounds.
See, I like that, Glenn. Come up, you fielded it. Now you just preserved yourself about 25, maybe even 30 yards in field position there.
Right.
Because that ball was going to continue to bounce.
Looked like he went out at about the 45-yard line. I'm waiting to still see where they spot this.
Looks to be about the, let's see, the 45. Nope. Holy smokes, Glenn. I just heard an update that got me a little bit surprised. The Concord is looking to mount a comeback. They've just taken a lead over McCain.
Oh.
28 to 20. That was a 24 to 7 game or 24 to 8 game at one point. What a job there by Concord. Get back in that one. See, that's going to be curious to see how that one ends.
All right. Here we go. First down for Middletown. Troyer hands off to Roberson. He stiff arms a defender, breaks a tackle, and he's up to midfield. And he's close to the sidelines and tackled inside Appo territory at the 39-yard line. The biggest run from scrimmage in the game for the Cavs.
Yeah, you know, you're starting to see the Cavs start to assert their will right here. Appo got a couple guys going both ways, and now you can see some tempo coming. The Middletown feels like they got their momentum.
It's Roberson again trying to get the edge on the far sideline, and he is tackled out of bounds, a gain of about 3. There is a flag down, I do believe, at the line of scrimmage. That was the 20th offensive play of the game for Middletown to almost 50 plays for Appoquinimink. Remember the first game of the season we did with Arundel and Dover?
Yes.
And it was lopsided like that? But Dover had big plays in that game. Middletown has had big plays in this game.
You're exactly right, Glenn, and you know, that's going to be one that when this coaching staff is, it's a holding call against Middletown. This staff's going to take a look at it and be like, guys, we dominated this one, man.
Yeah.
You got to finish drives. That's the key. Appo hasn't been able to do it.
Under 2 minutes to get. Now there's another whistle and a flag thrown before the snap as we are down to 1:43 to go in the third quarter. Go ahead, Pat.
Receivers jumped on that one. That was all, Glenn. Yeah, the receivers jumped over on that one.
It looked like Hinson was downfield quite a ways.
Yeah, definitely.
He just caught the touchdown pass a little while ago. And good, as you mentioned, Yak, yards after catch.
Appo's got to be careful here. I mean, Middletown's in rhythm. They seem to have some confidence finally.
Well,
this is a danger zone here for this Jaguars team.
With the penalty, it's 1st and long for Middletown. Back on their side of midfield. Looking far flat. Pass was deflected by one defender, but then caught by Crisilla.
Wow.
At the 41, so it's going to bring up 2nd and about 11.
That's the second time that's happened, right?
That time they got a completion out
They got the tiered receiver curls, one at 4 yards, the second at 8, and you're right. I mean, with the way that it's angled, goes right through the hands of one receiver and lands into the hands of the other.
2nd down and 13 for the Cavaliers. Back in Appo territory at the 42. 2 receivers, top and bottom of your screen. Troyer. Pressure's coming. He just gets rid of it to Roberson, who juggles it, and then stiff arms a defender. He's down the sideline. Breaks a tackle, breaks another. Reverses his field. He's at the 20, 15, and finally slowed up inside the 15-yard line.
Wow, what a run after the catch. Roberson's so slippery. So slippery. Troyer felt the pressure, got it to the emergency valve, which was Roberson, and then speed kills. I mean, he had 2 Appo defenders angling at him at about the 40-yard line. He just outran their angles. Then a couple cutbacks later, he's down to 15.
I don't know who the defender was, but Troyer just got rid of that before he was hit. Troyer, little screen out to Priestley. Priestley at the 10, hit at the 5, stays on his feet, and goes in the end zone.
Penalty marker down. Let's see what the call is. I mean, it is a touchdown on the field. What an effort by Priestley to break through the tackles, bust through, and score.
Yeah.
But let's see. Is this going to be a blocking penalty or what? We'll find out.
Going to be a 15-yard. It's a hold. It's going to come back.
Yeah, but Middletown's in rhythm right now. I mean, I don't think they're going to be too upset about this penalty. They're in rhythm.
Yeah.
They're about to potentially go up 3 scores.
They have the passing game going now, Pat.
Yes, they do.
And Appo was able to have some success pressuring Troyer in the first half when he went back to pass. They're just a little late here in the second half getting to him. Ham in as a wideout. He'll be in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Now he's going to split. 2 receivers to the top. And now Priestley will join Ham at the bottom of your screen. Troyer has Pearson behind him. He hands it off to Pearson. Hit right at the line. Husser grabbed him and gobbled him up.
Great job by Husser fighting off the block. Coming up with the tackle. Middletown will take this one to the 4th, Glenn.
Yep, 3 quarters in the books. It's 14-0 Middletown over Appo here on the Central Cruise Game of the Week on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader. Because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Glenn Fraser alongside Pat Carriantes calling the action here tonight. It's been a good one here, and we're starting the 4th quarter. Middletown will have a 2nd down and 10, or 2nd down and 20, or no, 2nd down and 15.
Yep,
I had it right the first time.
Yep.
And they're at the 20-yard line of Appo after a penalty and an incomplete pass and a run by Pearson to gain nothing. Troyer back to pass. Looks into the end zone, throws it up, and is bobbled and incomplete. Nice defense back there. Who was that, number 44?
That's what it looked like, Glenn. That would make that Haji Bell.
He got beat a little bit. Crisilla got behind him, but he managed to put the hands up while he was still facing the receiver, and he just deflected it enough.
Yeah, you can face guard in high school. That's a good ball by Troyer.
Yeah.
A little bit more, and it would have been a perfect throw, but that's a very catchable ball. Crisilla just couldn't haul that one in.
3rd down and long. Trips to the bottom of your screen. And Troyer looks the other way. Oh, on a little slanting pattern, and it is dropped by Hinson, and he put his head up in the air like, that's on me.
Yeah, you can't put the ball in a better spot right there. Troyer with a tremendous throw on time, in stride with a little mustard on it. Hinson just couldn't quite haul that one in. He's definitely going to want that one back.
Yeah, well, that would have been his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. All right, they're going to go for it on 4th down, 4th and long. Trips again to the bottom of your screen, Hinson to the top. Troyer looks middle of the field. Now he throws it up. Corner. That's going to draw a flag. There was too much contact by the Appo secondary, man.
Yep. Yeah, again, Troyer got smoked there by the big fella, Husser, and he just put that ball up, and it was a beautiful throw. It was going to be a jump ball. It's just that Appo secondary never turned around and found the ball.
Yeah.
You know, they ran into that guy timed up as if that ball was thrown with some zip. If they just had turned around, I mean, it was just like a jump ball rebound in basketball.
Stops the clock with 11:39 to go in the football game. Let's get you updated on the other games on our network of 302 Sports live streams tonight down in Lewis. Dover flexing its muscle 26-6 over Cape in the second half, and St. E's pulling away from Tatnall 20-0. We have St. E's ranked 2nd in our Super 7 in Class 1A.
Yeah, that's a impressive start for the Vikings there. That game's at the half. Tatnall, up-and-coming program. I really do love what Coach McMullen's done over there. Young group, and they're competing.
Got a timeout on the field. They stepped off the penalty yardage, but it wasn't enough for a first down, Pat, so it's still 4th down for Middletown.
They did a half a distance.
Yeah,
huh?
and the ball's at the Appo 10-yard line. So I'm not sure who called the timeout here. I didn't see the referee signal. But anyhow, there's a timeout on the field. We're going to keep it right here because next week we're going to have the First State Ortho game of the week. We'll be at Smyrna High. We're going to have the Golden Knights of Sussex Central coming up to Smyrna to take on the Eagles in what could be an early game to decide who's going to lead the pack in that District 2 in Class 3A.
Yeah, you're right, Glenn. That's going to be a battle of titans, right? Sussex Central's always kind of been that third, fourth team in the mix in terms of recent history to Smyrna Middletown, obviously getting championships in recent years, notably in 2019. But, that's going to let's figure out where's everyone falling right now.
Right.
Where's everyone falling in these top rankings? Sussex Central has a chance to make some shuffles in our top 7 with a game there.
4th down play, another throw in the corner of the end zone. Jump on. It's made by Crisilla. He made the catch. He got the foot down. And I'm telling you what, that kid is one of the best wide receivers I've seen in the state.
Yes, there is a penalty marker, though. I'm wondering if they're going to get him
Celebration?
I'm wondering if they're going to get him
pass interference.
Yeah.
They got Middletown for a push-off.
To say he definitely pushed off. It was close because they both had their hands on each other, and the refs determined that Crisilla pushed off to create the separation as opposed to just bringing the hands up.
So now we'll replay 4th down for the 3rd time, and now the line of scrimmage will be back out to the Appo 25-yard line. Do you think Middletown dials that play up again?
I would think so. I mean, you definitely take your chance, your athletes versus theirs. Trust your guys, trust your quarterback to make a good throw. He's made 2 good ones in the last 2.
Gave you a couple of scores. We'll update you in that Smyrna game. It's now 44-0 Eagles headed to the 4th quarter. This time, broken up nicely, intended for Henson, and back there knocking it down was Glover.
Great job by Glover. That was a fantastic job defending the deep post, deep slant. Henson came across. He came and charged right at the ball. He got there right in time to knock that one away. And, we talked about, this was a chance there for Middletown to really seize this game, go up 3 scores. Appo comes up with a 4 and out. So, great job. And, again, if the Jaguars can finish a drive, there's still a lot of time left in this game. They could get right back in this, put some pressure back on Middletown. Let's see if they can do it.
Almost the entire 4th quarter still left on the clock, 11:25 to go in the game. Appo unable to get into the end zone against this stingy Cavalier defense tonight.
They've had 3 drives really that have gone into the Middletown side of the field, and 1 that got them inside the 10-yard line.
Exactly.
And weren't able to score.
All right. Yard back in at quarterback. 2 receivers, top and bottom of your screen. Turns, gives it to McConomy as they spread the D, but Cavaliers are right there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. These holes are going to start tightening up here. They're not going to have as much space.
Trying to get the number of that last guy off the field. Okay, that's Kasim Powell. He made the stop.
Great job by Powell, getting off his block, making a play.
No gain by McConomy, who, with our unofficial stats, is over 140 yards rushing in the game.
What a job. I mean, it's impressive with what he's done, the workload that he's had to take on in this game.
Yeah. Jaden Wheeler showing a blitz. He's looking for the gap. It's a throw out in the far flat, complete to Osebu. Looked like he's just shy of the 30-yard line. It's a minimal gain, but they do get a pass completed.
Yeah, great job there. A little quick out, hitting Osebu. And see if they can. It sets up a 3rd down. Look, it's just something that I feel like they've had to do. And I think they should continue to try and do. In fact, I would start working in some play action. Right? You've been running the ball so heavily. Run the play action to McConomy up the middle. Let your quarterback take the ball back. Maybe one of these defenders gets caught looking in the backfield, and you have someone streaking down the field.
3rd down and 6 coming up here for Appo. This time, 2 receivers, 1 in the slot, 1 the bottom of your screen. Let's see if they run the play this direction. Yard takes the snap, turns, gives it to McConomy, has a little seam on the right side, and he manages to stretch for the 1st down out across the 35.
He did. A great job there by Appo's line over there on the left side, able to spring McConomy, and it was another chance, though, where if he's able to break one tackle, he's had a few of these runs where there's been a shoestring tackle that has stopped him, but if he was able to break through, there was nobody back here in the secondary for Middletown on that side of the field.
Now they have respotted the ball. He actually crossed, I thought he crossed the 35 out to 36, but they're still going to give Appo the first down.
Tell you what, Glenn, while we were sitting here talking about this,
Yeah.
Chip Knapp's offense put more points on the board. Now
Okay.
33-6 Dover.
I'm telling you what, I had Dover ranked 3rd in my Super 7. We still have, as a team, as a crew, we have Sussex Central 3rd and Dover 4th. But in my eyes, and those two are going to play each other soon.
Yeah.
I have Dover as a number 3 team and Central 4.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's a toss-up right now. Either team can beat either team, but I've been impressed with that Dover team. So we've seen both of them too live, Glenn.
Yeah.
And, that Dover team's definitely impressive for sure. And Sussex Central's not too far behind.
No,
them, to be completely honest with you.
1 yard loss on that last carry by McConomy. So it's 2nd down and 11 with 9 minutes to go in the ball game. 14-0, Cavaliers on top, scoring on 2 80-yard-plus plays. Osebu in motion to the near side. Pearson timed it perfectly, but Yard stepped around him. Now he throws, and he tried to connect on a sideline pattern, incomplete, and that was intended for Noah Hoff.
I mean, that was a good job. Great job by the youngster there. He pump fake, stepped up into the pocket off the pass rush, rolled to his right, and delivered that ball actually in pretty good position where it was going to either be his guy making the catch or it was going to fall incomplete. I like that from the sophomore quarterback from Yard. Okay, yeah, did it work out? No, but that was a positive play.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Pat, you take a look at this Appo offense, and you have your quarterback back next year. McConomy's back for another year. Glover's back. All 3 of your wideouts are back, and you bring back the entire offensive line except for Husser. Everybody back but Husser.
Everyone back, but I mean it's an impressive young group, that's for sure. It looks like there's an illegal substitution here.
Yeah, we had too many players on the field. Appo trying to get an extra blocker out there for McConomy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean it's been tough. They haven't been able to get the quick strikes here tonight. Like you said, that's where Middletown has excelled. They've got the 280-plus yard. That's the difference in the games. The big plays, man. I mean, Appo hasn't been able to find any, and Middletown's found 2.
Final score from Camden, Delaware. Smyrna wins 44-0 over Cesar Rodney. So Smyrna will come into next Friday night's game of the week with a 2-1 record. Sussex Central will have to wait. Oh, they're off this week, so they had the week off. They're 3-0. Premature movement on the line will draw another flag, and I think back up Appo another 5 yards.
It will.
So, Pat, not only are we going to have the game of the week next Friday night with the Eagles and the Golden Knights, we've got a doubleheader next week.
Yes, sir.
On Saturday afternoon, we're going to have the Civil War rivalry, longtime rivalry between the Dover Senators and the Cesar Rodney Riders from Dover High.
It's going to be a good one. I mean, it's one of those. It's good because of the storylines, right?
Yep.
Another crosstown rivalry game. We'll see if the Riders are able to get up for that one and put up a good fight. It's been a tough start to the year for them.
Yeah.
They're going up with Glenn. You talked about. We feel it's one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the state of Delaware.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough challenge for the Riders, but we're excited to bring that one to you guys for sure.
Only a couple-yard pickup there on 3rd and long by McConomy. So head coach Brian Timpson, they really have no option here. They've got to punt this ball away. It's 4th and long, deep in your own end. Only 8:10 to go, but you don't want to give Middletown a short field again.
No, you definitely don't. You definitely don't. You're fighting, you're scratching, you're clawing. At this point, you want your guys to look into the score, that box score tomorrow.
Oh, this one might be returned. Pearson catches it on the fly at his own 48. Oh, but good special team tackle downfield by Appo's Ian Beatty.
Yeah, great job by Beatty there because that was a full head of steam for Mikey Pearson. And we've seen what that's been able to do for Middletown. Man, it looks like Pearson's limping off. Hopefully that's just
he got dinged up earlier, remember, when he had that collision with Husser.
Yeah, hopefully that's just a rolled ankle and nothing too serious there. But he's in some pain. There's no doubt about it.
Well, he's a two-way starter for Middletown and integral to the success of this ball club. Hopefully the young man is fine.
He's an absolute warrior. I mean, he is an absolute warrior. Has been for 4 years for this program. Like you said, he's one of the very few two-way starters for this Middletown team. True leader there.
Troyer in the gun. Roberson, handoff. Cut it inside of a block nicely, and it takes about 3 defenders from Appo to bring him down just shy of the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 6. Middletown running the ball a little bit better now here in the second half, but I think the Jags defense is getting worn down a little too.
A little bit. There's a hold, so that'll help Appo out a little bit there. But, yeah, I think you're right, Glenn. I mean, this offense is fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, the only guy who's on this offensive line who has taken defensive snaps here tonight has been Bruckner.
Okay.
And that was only a very few. So you got 5 fresh offensive linemen. And when I mean fresh because of how limited they were on the field in the first half. They're getting after some guys that are playing both ways for Appo.
Troyer back to pass, quick pass on a stop-and-go pattern, sideline near midfield. And they got a lot of the penalty yardage back on the catch. Priscilla.
Yeah, great job. Good hitch route.
Uh-oh.
Soft defense there from Appo, and he was able to find him.
Uh-oh, I said uh-oh because the press box started to shake.
I know. We're getting at this band. The bands are getting after it over here.
Appo band doing a great job tonight. So did the Cavalier marching band for pregame. Trips to the top of your screen. Let me tell you, this press box is rocking. Roberson trying to get the far edge. Good block by the wideout. And he got positive yardage. He's only going to get about 3, so it's going to bring up 4th down and short. I thought he had a lot more than that, Pat, but good pursuit defensively.
Well, and Appo's been up to the challenge. I mean, I got to be impressed with this Appo defense.
I agree.
They have stepped up to the challenge here against one of the more potent offenses in the state of Delaware. And they've only given up 7 points.
Yeah.
And the 7 points were on a breakdown in coverage where, they left the guy wide open and he was able to take advantage of some space. But this defense has been locked in. If they can repeat this performance, you're going to see a few wins here from this Appo program.
That ball was almost partially deflected. It's caught by number 5 who breaks a tackle. Now he gets to the far edge. He breaks another tackle. Finally, fumbles the football, and Appo comes up with it. So after all that effort, the Jags get the ball on a turnover. That was Davion Hartosh Fitzgerald who made the catch and run.
Great, tremendous effort, but, that's one of those, you're going to look back on the tape. You're going to look back on the tape here, and you're going to want to get upfield. Don't extend it. Don't go east-west, get north-south. Great job, great awareness by Appo, forcing a turnover. Again, this defense makes another play, Glenn.
Yes.
They make another play, and you can't count them out. Again, I mean, they haven't been able to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to do it yet. But they are one big play away from causing some nerves to get rattled over there on the other sideline.
Player down for Appo after that tackle. But a great job, as you said, for stripping the ball right on the sidelines in front of the Middletown bench, and Jaguars coming up with a turnover. Well, that's one of their – he gets up off the field, and he's dancing around pretty well. That's Tamir Milam.
Oh, he's been great all night.
Hasn't he?
He has, man. The energy that young man brings.
Yeah, look at the coaches. They're just shaking their heads and laughing.
The Dr. Straight. Yeah.
And there's we talked to her at halftime. There's Mandy Minatola from Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance taking a look at him down there. I don't know whether he was just getting a breather and he was just like faking everybody out or what, but he came out off the turf just dancing his way to the sideline. And it looked like a Brian Timpson dance. I've seen Timpson jump up and down it. He was mimicking the coach.
It's tremendous.
Yeah, all right, down on the field, Appo with the football. Only 5:51 to go in the game, down 14-0 to Middletown. Ball at their own 35-yard line. Yard. Fakes the handoff. He's going to throw the home run ball. Looking downfield, trying to come back to it, and it's picked. Picked by Matt Priestley on the sideline, so one turnover begets another.
Great job there by Priestley, high point in that football. I liked it. It was a play-action pass. The first time we seen it. And, right there, I think the young quarterback Yard, I don't know if that ball slipped out of his hand, but he wasn't able to get that far enough downfield for his receiver to make a play on it. But you're at a point now where you got to take chances. So, he's just a young quarterback. You're putting some trust into him. I think you had to do that. You had to do that, Glenn. You can't go out here and start running the ball between the tackles, down 2 scores and under 6 minutes to go. So you got to run that risk. Unfortunately for them, it ended with a turnover.
And those are the only 2 turnovers of the whole game. The fumble by Middletown and the interception there that the Cavaliers picked off. We've gone the whole game without a turnover.
Yeah.
And now we've got a flag thrown against Middletown before they even get up to the line of scrimmage. Does that delay a game?
Too many men on the field, Glenn.
Nope.
Too many men on the field. Legal substitution.
Ball goes back to the Cavalier 41. It'll be first down and 15. Trips to the top of your screen. Crisilla to the bottom. Troyer looking towards Crisilla. He makes the sideline catch up near the 49-yard line, so he gets all the penalty yardage back, plus a couple more.
Yeah, that's as good as a run, right? That's as good as a run. 7 yards, pitch and catch.
That's the 3rd reception for Crisilla tonight.
Yeah, if I'm Middletown, though, I'm getting the ball on the ground and getting this clock churning. You're up 2 scores.
Well, there's a handoff to Roberson, trying to get to the outside. Slowed up, and he's tackled, I think, in bounds in Appo territory at about the 47. No, he got out of bounds. That stops the clock.
And that's gotta have your head on a swivel here, right? Gotta understand. There's a flag on the play, Glenn. That's why he was tackled in bounds. It was just a flag on the play. I was going to say, this is one of those scenarios where you're trying to churn clock. You want to stay in bounds.
Looks like it's
Middletown.
Looks like it's going to go against Middletown.
Hold.
There's been a lot of penalties against the Cavaliers tonight. They've won that battle. That's one you as a coach you don't never want to win, but they've had probably 3rd or 4th holding penalty on them.
Yeah, but you got to give credit. That's Appo's defense being active. These guys are moving. They're not standing still. They're making these guys have to move their feet and reach, and that's what ends up leading to these holding calls.
Got an update from the Benny Mitchell crew and their game of the week. Dover leading Cape 33-12 in the 4th quarter of that one. Empty backfield. 5:05 to go in the game. It's 2nd down and long. Pressure's coming. Troyer almost had connected with Vernal Gary. In and out of his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, it's good pressure there on the blitz by Appo. They nearly got there, forced that early throw.
I'll let you give that score from the Upstate Cruise game.
Yeah, Upstate, it looked like St. East is in control of that one. 26-0 over Tatnall late in that one.
And 44-0 final. Smyrna over Cesar Rodney tonight. So Sussex Central was idle this week. We will have the Golden Knights at Smyrna to take on the Eagles next Friday night on our game of the week.
It's going to be fun, Glenn. It's going to be such a fun one, man.
This one's been fun.
Yes, it has.
Troyer, low snap. Back to pass. Pressure's coming up the middle, and the ball was tipped incomplete out of the hand of Priestley.
Middletown's gotten lucky now because that's a couple of pass plays in a row where they got pressure on Troyer, and he just threw the ball. And that one was nearly deflected and intercepted.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, there wasn't a whole lot of guys in front of that young man. So, they're getting dangerous here. If I'm Middletown, I'm running the football. I'm forcing Appo to call timeouts. I'm running this clock down and getting the heck out of here, surviving with the win, because this has been an absolute battle in this game.
Colb Jorgensen is back to punt. I think it's the first punt from him in the second half.
I think you're right.
With 4:53 to go in the ball game. There's the snap. Pressure's coming. They can't get to him. He gets the punt off. And it hits a Middletown player.
It up. Oh, see, this is where they're not understanding the rules, Glenn. That ball is hit by a Middletown player. That ball's down where it hits him.
Right.
That's a free ball.
It's got to be spotted back up here where I think it was Crisilla. It hit him.
Yes. And you can see the officials are marking it up there.
Yeah.
So as a return man, right, it's an educational moment for people. That ball hits Priscilla, right? That ball hits Priscilla.
You're in the class with Professor
Here we are.
Gariante.
So that ball hits Priscilla at the 42. That ball is guaranteed to be at that spot for Appo. That means it's a free ball. McConomy, I don't think he knew that, right? And he's probably going to get coached up here on the sidelines, but he technically could have picked that up and ran it to the end zone for a touchdown. If he picks it up, muffs it, doesn't pick it up cleanly, or fumbles the ball, and Middletown recovers, it doesn't matter. It's like getting a free play in the NFL, right? That ball's going to be at the 42 regardless. So that was an opportunity there for Appo to maybe take advantage of some guys that didn't understand the situation. They just couldn't make they didn't make it happen. 3
receivers to the top of your screen. McConomy takes the ball, goes upfield, cuts to the near side. If he can shake off one defender, he does. He's up to midfield, and he will go down at the Cavalier 47-yard line.
There's a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is here.
Going to come back. That'll stop the clock with 4:26 to go. Flag was thrown at the Appo 44-yard line. I think it's going to come back.
Yep. Man, that's tough. What a game. This has been a fun game.
Yeah,
man.
I'm telling you.
And I'll tell you what, if you're Middletown, you can't help but come away with some respect for your crosstown rivals here. They gave you a good battle.
Yes. Now, Middletown, let's see, Appo next week, they will be at St. George's on Saturday. And I'll tell you what, I would favor them in that ball game. And then the Friday night, October 7th, what a battle that'll be. The Dover Senators will host the Appo Jags.
That'll be a good battle. And you know what? They better bring it. That's the day after my 30th birthday, Glenn. October 7th. That's a great weekend, young men. Be prepared.
All right, they had to bring it back. Makes it first down about 13. Feed it to McConomy again. Oh, pounded right at the line. He got away from that one defender. First one to hit him was Tristan Graham.
Yeah, Graham got in there but didn't take the legs out. Now, luckily, McConomy couldn't avoid, having to jump over those guys. But I'll tell you what's been tough sledding, trying to bring down number 24, Maroon. He's been great tonight.
Clock running, 3:45 and counting to go in the game. Second down and 13. Appo, really no sense of urgency here. Trips to the top of your screen. Yard, bobbles it, hands it off to McConomy. The timing's off. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a yard.
Going to get a face mask, Glenn. It's going to end up being a first down for Appo on the
Okay.
face mask. Well, unless it's a 5-yarder. Let's see what they call, if it's personal foul or not.
Now, next Friday night, Middletown will be on the road, and I mean on the road. Now they're going to say inadvertent flag.
Yep,
They're going
yes,
to
they
wave
did.
it off.
Yes,
They're going to be out in Ohio taking on Washington High School. The game's going to be played at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
Wow.
So how cool is that?
That's really cool.
That's Middletown's next game.
And that's all. That's one thing that this Cavalier program over the last 6 years or so has been able to do for this group is incorporate the travel, have some different experiences outside the state of Delaware. That's been good for them.
Third down and long. Now pressure finally comes. Yard unloads down the near sideline, just throws it out of bounds. Incomplete, and that brings up 4th and long with 2:42 to go.
You got to take your shots. I mean, now unfortunately, right, these are going to have to be timing routes. And this is something they'll coach the young man up on. But, because he doesn't have that rocket arm and throw the ball 60, 65 yards, you got to know that, okay, I got to get the ball out on time to these guys. That time, he was flushed out of the pocket. Guys are already 45, 50 yards down the field when he's getting ready to throw. That's a hard throw to make at this level.
Yeah.
It just is.
All right, brings up 4th down and 12. And that brings in the punter, Reinhardt. We can't see him on our monitor. Where is he? There's the snap. He's out of the screen. There's the punt. Come on, what's up with our camera guy? What's he doing over there?
We don't know.
Punt went out of bounds. No return. Wise decision by Appo and their punter Reinhardt. You know, Nick Halliday does a great job week in and week out with a lot of production work, and he runs the whole shebang for us. Every once in a while we catch him sleeping behind the camera, and that was one time.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
All right, Middletown comes back out on the field with that 2-score lead. Pat, what do you think the Cavaliers do here? Just get the clock running and keep it on the ground?
You know, that's what I would do, and I think that's what they should do. Get out of here with a win, run the ball up the middle, stay in bounds.
There's a handoff to Pearson,
Yeah.
right up the gut. Well, he got pretty good yardage as he dove over the 45 out to the 47. I'm going to say maybe that he went down to 4. No, we're going to give him 47, yeah. Gain of 6.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, you're up multiple scores here. You want to keep that clock running.
You got the dancing bear. Milam is down again. He must be cramping up a little bit here tonight.
I think that's what's going on, Glenn. And this is a prime example of what I alluded to in the first 4 broadcasts of the year. Just because it's cold and chilly out doesn't mean you can't cramp. I mean, it's brisk out there tonight.
It really changed. I mean, really, first day officially of autumn was today, right?
Yeah, the 21st, yep.
Well, it feels like it.
Yes, it does. Actually, no, is today the 23rd? Holy smokes, Patrick, you're way off.
Well,
buddy.
then I think yesterday was probably the official first day of autumn.
Okay.
But it's cooled off quite a bit.
It has, and I for one can't be more happy.
Yeah.
I'm ready for bonfires, right? I'm ready for the full game under the lights. We're about there now.
Now Milam really favoring the left leg. Oh, now he almost went down again.
Yeah,
it's actually the right leg, I guess.
Say when you get those calf cramps, they can spark up in an instant, man. And you go right down.
Oh, dude, I get those in the middle of the night, and it's like I fall out of my bed.
Oh yeah, they're rough.
All right, here we go. Play back down on the field. 2nd down and 4 for Middletown. 2:15 to go in the ball game. Troyer turns, feeds it to the running back again. Pearson gets close to midfield. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's good hard run by Pearson. He seems to, something's going on there. I don't know if he rolled his ankle or what. He's got a slight limp, but like we said earlier, man, he's absolute warrior.
Middletown
absolute warrior.
taking the time, letting the clock run, Pat. Down to 1:45 to go. Two receivers, the top bottom of your screen. Go ahead.
Just say, hey, this is smart. Just take your time, run the football. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Well, they got the first down, and they're into Appo territory inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Nice carry by Pearson as he slashes off left side.
Well, now you're at a point, Glenn, where you can line up in victory formation.
Yeah.
Take a couple of knees. It looks like Coach Timpson and his staff isn't going to take the timeouts.
This is the closest game these two have had in a while. I think I mentioned it was 14-13 in 2019. That was the closest game. So this 14-0. Close ball game here tonight. Troyer waiting until the last second. He watches the back judge. Pearson gets it again. Surges forward for about 3 yards, and we're under a minute to go, Pat.
Yeah, Glenn, I don't think it could be said enough. This was an impressive performance and a bit of a statement. Despite it being a losing effort, quite a statement by Appo. They came out, they have competed, and they've only allowed 1 offensive touchdown, and that was on a pretty impressive play by Hinson, and perhaps a breakdown in coverage. Otherwise, what a performance. They're in victory formation now, take their knee.
Takes the knee. They won't have to snap it again.
This Appo team's close.
You take a look at this Appo team. They lose to St. Mark's. And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. I think St. Mark's in 2A is good enough to compete in 3A this year. That's how good they are.
They absolutely will be competing for a state championship at that level with everybody back and healthy. They're having some a situation going on with players being out right now. But you're absolutely right about that team.
And they beat Cesar Rodney 34-7 last week. So Appo falls to 1-2. Middletown improves to 2-1. Cavaliers go to Ohio next Friday night to play Washington High School, and they get to play at Paul Brown Stadium. Great great atmosphere, and what a thrill for these kids from Middletown to go out there and play in an NFL stadium.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a moment you'll remember for the rest of your life, even if you don't get to that level, even if you don't get to play in the college level, to say that you got to play in that stadium in any way, shape, or form, that's a memory that these young men are going to have for the rest of their life. You're right. What an opportunity, win, lose, or draw on that situation. Best of luck. Best of luck to the Cavs out there.
And for Appo, next Saturday they go up, just up the road about 8 miles below the canal at St. George's Tech. They play Saturday next weekend. I'll tell you what, I think Appo can win that ball game right now. I thought St. George's was really good coming into the season on paper, but I've been a little disappointed with what I've seen out of them so far. I think Appo can compete with them. That should be a good one next Saturday.
I think you're exactly right. And his Appo team showed some moxie here, man. I mean, you know, they competed with what we believe to be the top team in the state of Delaware. And, you know, honestly, I mean, if they finish a drive, one or two of those drives off, this is a different ball game down the stretch. I mean, it kind of was Middletown in control for the majority here in the fourth quarter once they went up 2 scores. But Appo finishes that drive off in the first half that they get inside the 10-yard line, or one of the other drives where they got around to 35 or 30 in Middletown territory. This is a completely different ball game. This team is close, Appoquinimink. They got an elite running back at Daniel McConomy. Today, that defense looked about as elite as it comes. Osebu is somebody that you got to keep an eye on as well. They can continue to develop Jacob Yard as a sophomore quarterback. If this line can stay healthy and continue to produce the way that they're producing right now, this Appo team, as this season progresses, it could be a team to keep an eye on come playoff time. There is no doubt about that. This is an impressive group. That's the number one takeaway that I've taken away from this one, Glenn.
All right, Pat, let's step aside. We'll come back and wrap things up on the post-game show here on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
I'm Chef Hari Cameron. At Grandpa Mac, pasta's our thing. We serve quality food fast that's not fast food. We make everything in-house and serve something for everyone. We're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Follow the noodle to Grandpa Mac.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822. Melissa Ellis is part of 4 Acre Realty Company. She is licensed in both Delaware and Pennsylvania. Melissa knows that being personable and patient is a key to her success as a realtor. Helping both buyers and sellers understand current market values and conditions puts them in the best position when making an offer or pricing a home for sale. That kind of high-level professional communication and her skill at being a team player put Melissa's clients at ease, knowing she has their best interests at heart. Melissa is also an athlete herself, playing multiple sports so she understands what teamwork means. She is still involved in sports, whether it's sponsoring, coaching, or being team mom for her own 2 daughters' teams. What sets her apart is how grateful Melissa is for the trust of her clients. She never takes that trust for granted. She affords all people respect and honesty and works hard to be the support system clients need and deserve. Melissa Ellis. Strong connections, strong service.
High school athletics is not what it used to be. The sporting goods industry has been disrupted, adding to coach and athletic director daily challenges. BSN Sports stands ready to change the fundamentals of our industry, giving our customers the advantages they need right now. Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Get the look of D1 colleges and pro teams with our program that streamlines ordering your staff apparel, player gear, and fan wear. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and ready in minutes. Our campus branding products are perfect for boosting school and team pride. BSN Sports has the advantages you need right now.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodal Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Barkley Heating and Air. Barkley's can work on all brands specializing in air conditioners, gas, oil, and heat pumps. Family owned and operated with over 17 years of experience. Licensed, insured, and a multiple-year First State Favorites winner. Barkley Heating and Air offers 24-hour emergency service with service plans available. Customer satisfaction guaranteed. Call 302-653-5971 for a free estimate today. John and Ginger Barkley are looking forward to serving the community. Find them on the web at barkleyheatingandair.com. Barkley?
Final score here at Appo High, Middletown 14, Appo nothing. Here's the scoring in the game. There was no scoring in the first quarter, and really Appo's defense came up huge because Middletown's Crosilla returned the opening kickoff from his 8 to the Appo 29-yard line, but they took over on downs, Appo did. No scoring in the first quarter. Early in the second quarter, a punt return, Michael Pearson, 85 yards, and that put Middletown on front after Ham's kick 7-0. That's what we had at the half. Then in the third quarter with 4:35 to go, an 84-yard catch and run pass to Hinson from quarterback Troyer. Ham's kick made it 14-0. There was no scoring in the fourth quarter. So that's the final tonight. Again, Middletown improves to 2-1 and the Jags fall to 1-2. But I think we were both impressed because Middletown is the top-ranked team in the state. They're the defending state champs. Appo lost a little bit from last year, but boy, did they come up big defensively.
They came up huge here defensively, Glenn. Like I said before we broke here, a big-time statement made by Appo. If they could play with this intensity and this kind of focus, they can challenge anybody in the state of Delaware, as we've seen here today, playing who we feel is the top team in the state of Delaware to a very tough, hard-fought game. They were able to finish off a couple of drives. This thing could have got real interesting. Unfortunately, they weren't able to. Middletown came up with stops that they needed to, and the number one team ends up pulling away and getting a 14-0 victory.
There were plenty of accolades to go around here tonight for Appo. Definitely Daniel McConomy, who unofficially, by our account, carried the ball 44 times for 156 yards in the ball game, and that was the bulk of Appo's offense. And he ran behind an offensive line that did a great job all night. Ian Beatty, Elijah Husser, Miko Gibson, Aaron Hall, and R.J. Duge. And they did a fantastic job blocking for him. For Middletown defensively, I tell you, especially in the second half, Powell was in there a lot. Graham, Beckford, Hackett, Priestley, Hinson, name your poison. I mean, Middletown's defense really, really rose to the occasion in the second half, and really the whole night. They bent but didn't break.
Right.
They gave up a lot of rushing yards, but they won the ball game and they pitched a shutout. Offensively for Middletown, Austin Troyer has another good passing night. It didn't look too good in the first half.
No.
He was 3 out of 8 for 17 yards, but he ends up 9 out of 22 for and 62 yards, and that long touchdown pass. Great job by Appo's offensive line as well. But I said, a lot of accolades could go around. How about Demir Mile in the game he played tonight? Elijah Husser on both sides of the ball. Kamara, Shane, Osebu, Glover, Dylan Griffin.
Tucker had a couple.
Yes,
I mean, these guys you keep going. I mean, that was the statement, Glenn. Is this Appo defense? What I seen from them was tremendous.
Total team effort by both teams. And really, it was hard to kind of whittle it down to the player of the game. But, Pat, you have that for us.
Absolutely. We're going to go with Michael Pearson, 4-year starter, the Warrior here for the Middletown Cavaliers, a Navy commit. He didn't get many yards in the rushing game just because that front of Appo was really getting it done. But, he got the scoring started with a huge punt return, 85 yards for the touchdown. And more importantly, this man played all 3 sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams, and made key plays on each side. So we're going to give that one to Michael Pearson in this game, especially the majority of that second half. You saw him hobbling around, potentially with something going on with maybe the ankle or the lower body there. But we'll give this one to Michael Pearson just for the all-around effort that he was doing, being a true leader for this Middletown team.
All right, before we go off the air, we give you a couple of finals. Dover has defeated Cape Henlopen by a final of 33-12. Dover we have ranked number 4 in 3A in our Super 7. I have them ranked as the 3rd, ahead of Sussex Central. But we'll see. Definitely they belong in the conversation for a team to look out for in Class 3A this year. Other finals, Concord comes from behind to knock off McCain 28-24. Smyrna 44-0 over Cesar Rodney. And St. Elizabeth's leading Tatnall 26-0 in the 4th quarter of that game. Anything there stand out to you?
Concord coming back and getting a victory there. I mean, that was a 24-7 or 24-6 game early. McCain got out to the early lead there, but Concord able to shut down that Highlander offense and then put up the points needed to complete the comeback and get a win. That was impressive there. So I would definitely go with that Concord program, pulling away and getting a win over an early season good fun story in the state of Delaware and the McCain Highlanders.
And just a final note too, we mentioned the Smyrna final 44-0. Great news. Again, Earl Biddle was on the scene tonight. He was feeding us the scores and the updates, and most importantly, he had a picture of head coach Mike Judy coaching again on the sidelines, had the headset on, so apparently he's gotten things straightened away from the temporary medical leave. We were all in his corner. We are all happy to see him back on the sidelines. It makes the state of Delaware football family throughout the state much better because he's back.
Absolutely, Glenn. Absolutely, and it's always great. Coach Judy, such intensity, just an all-around one of the good guys out there. He really is one of just the good people. In Delaware athletics, let alone football, just in athletics, high school athletics. So, absolutely, it's great to see him back, and hopefully that continues on.
All right, that'll wrap it up here tonight from Appoquinimink High School. Join our crew this Wednesday, Delaware Live's weekly show from the Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings. Next week, the Central crew will have a doubleheader. We'll be at Smyrna for Sussex Central against the Eagles, and then next Saturday we have the Civil War rivalry, Cesar Rodney at Dover. We want to thank Jen Atwood and Mandy Minatola from Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance for joining us at halftime. Also, our thanks to Coach Timpson, Athletic Director here, Chris Mascara, for helping get everything set up here and making things run smoothly, and also to Coach Blum from the Middletown Cavaliers. For Nick Halliday and my broadcast partner, Pat Garriates, I'm Glenn Frazier. Once again, the final score tonight, Middletown 14, Appo nothing. Have a great weekend, everybody.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.